Hello, hello. I think we should be live. Just gonna double check on my other side over here. Sorry for the delay, of course. As always, gotta get the tech issues out the way first. Hopefully, they will not be any more later in the evening. Yep. All right, we're live. Cool. All right, I'm just gonna tweet it out. Welcome back, everyone. Another day, another night, another evening, depending on where you are, of Fate Remastered. So, as planned last week, we are going to be powering through the last swath of the game. I know we're like, I think 2 days and like a little bit over, and that's it. So I'm hoping today I'm gonna try and finish that little segment that I wanted to finish last time, but it was just like getting so late. I'm like, brother, I gotta go to bed, man. I had that JoJo stream the other day, which was great. Go check it out on the channel. Wrapping up and discussing JoJo's Part 7. So I'm like, fuck, I cannot stay up any longer. So there's like a little bit of what day are we on? I think we're on. Let's see. I think we're on day 13 or is it 14? Like I think we're just at the tail end of the day that we left off. I know that for sure. Yeah. So I think we're literally like just at the tail end of day 13. Gilgamesh showed up. That was fucking crazy. We're gonna see what he's gonna be doing, and of course he's the end all be all. Poor fucking Medea. I thought she would. I thought she was gonna do a lot more. I thought she was gonna be an intrinsic part of this, but no. I guess that was not the plan. Sad, but not to be. Yeah. Anyway, it's crazy, but we're now getting into the more route specific ending now, I imagine. So it's going to be Gilgamesh focused. But yeah, we should have like just about 2 days and some change left of the game. I'm gonna hopefully try and get the remainder of the day and some change today. And then tomorrow, because it's already up on the channel, as you guys could see, we should be able to just get the last portion of it done. Again, that's going to be the hope, the plan. But we'll see where tonight goes. Again, I wanted to start this a little early because I wanted to kind of do a little bit more of it. So, yeah. Yeah, again, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be probably a lot of reading, a lot of dialogue heavy stuff. So, get ready. Get ready. And then moving forward, once we are done, we will be having a new lineup. As mentioned, we were going to do just one game specific. And then the other days that we do gaming, we'll probably just be doing as we feel. It's going to be October soon, so we are going to do some spook-themed games coming up. I'm going to line up some options along the way. They won't be, like, played to their completeness, but it'll just be like, all right, we're going to have some fun. We will have some fun. So I've already... At least I thought I put them on my wish list. No. Okay, they did. They did not save. They did not save. But yeah, so they will be definitely on a list for you guys that we will play. Just being like, oh, hey, we're going to go this week. We're going to play, I don't freaking know. We'll play like Silent Hill. Not the new game that's out, the Silent Hill F. I have not played any of the Silent Hills, but we'll play a little bit of that. We'll play Resident Evil 1 or something. Maybe we will play the Alien Isolation game. We'll see what we do for this month. But yeah, it's, not going to be like, oh, we're playing this to completion. It's just playing it because I feel like it. And it'll be nice to be on point. Anyway, outside of that, we have new reaction stuff coming up. Not this week, but we're going to be trying to get into that next week. So next week, I think we either should be starting One Punch Man Season 3 or we should be getting close to. The plan will be to do that along with a couple other series, so stay tuned. They're going to be usually on the weekends, but we might try and do like a Wednesday night here and there. And then also this week, we will be starting JoJo's Part 8. We're here, baby. We're here. I'm excited. I know there's a lot of points that people make about JoJo's Part 8. Unlike, I feel, Part 7. Hold on, let me see if I can move myself. Yeah. Hold on. Can I not click myself? Damn it, I thought I could. No. No. Okay. That is not going to be... That will not be it. All right, so fine. I'll just go invisible. I'll just activate my invisible skill. But yeah, so we're going to be starting that this week. JoJo's Part 8. I'm excited. I've heard, again, mixed things. But I believe just because it's a Rocky, I will definitely have a good time. I will have a good time. Also, if you can't see, we are going to be starting webtoons this week. So after we do the JoJo's read through a little bit, we're going to then immediately transition into doing some webtoons, starting with the Greatest Estate Developer. It's already over, so I figured, all right, let's do that. People have suggested in the chat, so I live to please, of course. So we'll go through that as our first start to webtoons. It has 200 chapters. We'll mow our way through that. After we're done, we'll try and get into another webtoon. We'll also try maybe in the future to do some of the Chinese manhwas, and see which is popular and also which is actually just good. For those series, because they're Chinese and Korean, if you thought the Japanese copy strikes were bad, no, these guys will be. So when we do them, they're going to be primarily on this screen, and I probably will not be allowed to show any kind of actual footage, any panels, because they take their copyright strikes very, very seriously to the point of, all right, this is kind of ridiculous. Like, seriously, like half a goddamn thing was shown for like 2 nanoseconds. So probably most likely we will not be showing a lot of panels, but it's all right. We're here for the experience. But, yep, those are the plans for this week. Of course, we have JJK and Ichi the Witch. More on Sunday. That's going to be great. I have been digging the calling games. Ichi the Witch is getting very spicy. Love to see it. So, yeah, keep it up for those Sunday streams. In the future, again, we are going to do the JJK sequel, catch up to that. And then the game plan will be to add on Sunday is going to be Iruma-kun. We're going to catch up to that. And then we'll do the Gachi Koda, the trash manga. We're going to do the trash manga. So those are the plans for this month and then going into the future. It's going to be a good time. So if you like any of that, make sure you hang out in the streams and like them, maybe comment. And if you feel like it, maybe even subscribe. You know, something like that. All right. Spiel's done. So let's get into this. All right. I think we're here. Right, so we're going to get into some Kiritsugu Emiya stuff. So this now I think makes 2 routes. Shiro finds out about his dad. Which I always find a plus. Now, it could be memories being faulty, but I don't remember him finding out in Unlimited Blade Works. So, once again, I'm now putting this even further above that route. You know, I just really do think Unlimited Blade Works, the more and more I look at it, it's like, damn. No offense to you Rin fans out there, but this is kind of like the weakest route for me, man. Like, I feel like just already the Fate route as is probably the best route. But I've been told, like, oh, well, the Heaven's Field has a lot of stuff cut out of the movie, so you want to get the full experience, you got to go through the visual novel. And it's like, maybe in the future we will. Maybe we will. But from what I've seen enough. I feel like I can confidently say for right now, the Fate route is the best route. And it sucks because this is the only one that doesn't have like an actual anime adaptation that's actually good and modern. So sad that the actual peak route is gatekeeped by a bunch of text and people that do not want to read that, which, you know, I can't hurt too bad because, you know, it is a lot of reading and people rather watch something high quality, but damn, they're missing out, man, because this is prime time, like, Shiro, like, actually being an interesting character. Saber, aka Artoria, or Altaria, depending on which you want to go by. They're being great right now, fully developed because it's her route. Rin's interesting, like, still has that kind of love interest vibes, but, like, as, like, a friendo, she's, like, really, really good in this route. It's just, damn. And we gave, like, at times, Shinji a little bit more confident, a little bit more threat to him. Medusa kind of did some cool stuff. A.K.A. Ryder. How he went with Berserker, not as, you know, climatic I thought it would be, but it was still very climatic. Archer, you know, it's not his route, so we can't, you know, go into his stuff. Lancer is still out here, so we gotta get to him eventually. Medea, again, got swept under the rug, so that means also Sasaki Krodro is probably not going to be an important factor anymore. He's probably gone, so that's like the only negative there. I was kind of hoping that they were going to give her a little bit more love, but nah, Gilgamesh. It's Gilgamesh time. Woohoo! Here we go. But before that, lore, character stuff on the father, the Faja. Here we go. Kiritsugu Emiya.
10年前、前回の聖杯戦争における私のマスターは彼でした。私とキリツグは最後まで勝ち残り、聖杯はキリツグの手に渡った。アーチャーとそのマスターはまだ残っていましたから、あとは彼らを倒すだけで聖杯戦争は終了するはずだった。ですが、キリツグは聖杯を捨てたのです。
More like the Grail denied him, but sure.
その結果、町は火に包まれました。あの男は私に命じて聖杯を破壊させた。聖杯に触れられるのはサーバントだけですから。キリツグは最後のレイジを使って私の手で強制的に聖杯を破壊させたのです。聖杯が失われてはサーバントはこの世にとどまれない。キリツグも私をとどめようとは思わなかった。私の記憶はそこまでです。あのアーチャーとの決着も私を裏切ったキリツグを問いただすこともできなかった。
It's not like I never thought about it. My old man was a mage. If he had lived in this town, he could have been involved in the Holy Grail War. But still. Oh, well, there's no talking. By the way, sorry for the lighting. Camera's being a little weird right now. Servants do not typically retain their memories from previous summonings, and the same heroic spirit is not typically summoned as a servant conscientiously. However, you are an exception to the rule, so you should have been telling him, especially since you knew the name right off the gate. Just saying. And also, this is the same house that you were summoning guarding Einsberg with Kiritsugu, so it's like, you still should have probably put 2 and 2 together. If you ask me. Right. Yep.
この件に関しては口に出すべきではないと判断したのです。それにシローにはキリツグがどんなマスターだったのかを語るのは気が進まなかった。
気が進まなかったってどうして？
Because he's exactly what you were trying to become, but what you don't understand what it means to be a hero.
シロー、あなたが私の過去を夢見たように、私もあなたの過去を見てしまった。あなたのことにも驚きましたが、キリツグの変わりようも私には信じられなかった。
Yo, depression hits like a rock, man. Like, yeah, when the fucking world is just literally on fire for him, it's like, you change.
シローの記憶にいるエミやキリツグは立派な人物です。ですが、私の記憶にある彼はそのような人物ではなかった。
be fair, you didn't see his trial. You didn't see the trial that he went through, so.
彼は典型的な魔術師だった。己が目的にしか興味はなく、阻む者は何であろうと排除する。およそ私が戦いを通して話しかけられたのは3度だけです。
Is that right? He only spoke to her 3 times? Is that right? I actually do not remember. Even though I love Fate Zero, mainly for his Skandar. Did he only speak to her 3 times? Sure.
それが何であるかは言うまでもないとは思いますが。
Summoning, some other time, ordering to destroy the Grail.
残忍というわけではなかったし、殺人鬼というわけでもなかった。けれど、彼には情というものが存在しなかった。
Yep, he without motion to sacrifice. Whew.
キリツグが私を道具として扱ったように、彼本人もまた自身を道具としてしか見ていなかった。
How, you know, Rin and other people have talked about it. Isn't that the way that you are supposed to treat servants? So, if anything, that was in lockstep to the creed of master-servant relationships, how most people would. So, by their standards, he did nothing wrong in that first particular instance.
キリツグはあらゆる感情を殺し、あらゆる敵を殺した。そこまでして信じたものが何であったのかは私にはわからない。ただ、その目的であった聖杯を前にして、彼は私に破壊を命じた。
Let me let her finish. It is very interesting that you have in the Fate route, you have, of course, Saber is the one that gets to explain who she knew Karitsugu Emiya to be and what she thought his life amounted to. Meanwhile, let me pull up his name. There we go. Meanwhile, in Heaven's Field, if I can find the moment. No, I can't find it. Damn. Anyway, I'll just pull up the goddamn picture of him. My man's mean mugging the entire time. But in Heaven's Field, you have then, of course, Koto Mine, who then says to Shiro, by the way, this is what your daddy was like. So you have, on two opposite sides of the spectrums, you have the more closer perspective of Kiritsugu Emiya, who was used as a tool from his perspective and saw the emotionlessness on his absolute journey. Then on the other side, you almost had the envious kind of enjoyment, but in a very sycophant way you get from Kiritsugu right over here, tell Shiro who his father was. So it's very polar opposite of each other, but at the same time, they kind of, in a roundabout way, get to the same junction point of, yeah, he was emotionless. He did what he had to do. At the end of the day, that's who Kiritsugu was. So I find that very fascinating that though these two, in their own different circumstances, have ultimately experienced many different events with him, ultimately came to the same conclusion to a certain degree. To a certain degree. At the end of the day, Kiritsugu was a lot more twisted, that both of them will never understand on how it came to be that way, and then the real sacrifice he had to make with the Holy Grail and why he ordered Saber to destroy it. And then, of course, this motherfucker over here who's also lost emotion, but in the most obscene way possible, where Kiritsugu chose to lose his emotions on some sense of nobility quest. Kirei did it for diabolical, I'm just trying to find meaning and glee out of existence kind of way. He then tried to warp the image into more hateful way that would make Shiro squirm because that's what he likes. Whereas Saber is telling an objective truth from her own perspective, not trying to hurt Shiro. So again, two people are telling a similar story, but through different lenses and also different motives. Saber not wanting to tell Shiro the truth to protect his feelings. Kirei, I just want to make you squirm, man. I love seeing people squirm. I just find that interesting. I find that very interesting. Because you also have the people that are like, oh, well, let me transition back over. You have people that argue that the Fate route here should be the first route you start with and then end with Heaven's Field. So it's like, start, you talk about Kiritsugu from this person that, though had issues with him, didn't want to tell the truth to keep Emiya's feelings safe, and also was shocked at the person that he became later on in life, versus the person who wanted to tell the story to hurt Shiro the most, and in his own way never could fully understand what happened to the man that he, in a way, admired. Again, in a very sick way, but I don't know. It's all very fascinating. More than I could put into words. All right, I do have to make headway, so I gotta not go off on too many tangents. The truth is Saber's words. No, they must all be true. I realized I knew nothing about Kiritsugu. Was like before I even met him. There was no way for me to find out what kind of person he had been before that, and there was no need. Even if Kiritsugu Emiya was cold-hearted, it couldn't have changed a thing. The man who adopted Shiryo Emiya as his son was so much warmer. That's the only truth about him to me. Also, another difference, quickly. In Heaven's Field, you learn about Kiritsugu Emiya very early on into the route. The truth. So he's not gone, Shiro, in this case, has not gone on a whole fucking psychological journey yet to kind of reopen his mind to new experiences and his way of life. Versus now that he's gone on a massive journey with Saber and has had some deep thoughts about what is right and wrong, what are sacrifices really meant to be, you know, hero justice, his code, what does that actually look like? The idea of, what do they say? You can save someone or you can help someone, but those two are distinctly two different things. He goes on that journey with Saber, and now he's learning the truth. That's also very important. That's also very, very important. But what nags at me is if Kiritsugu truly was so ruthless, then his final moments were just too empty and futile. Could be.
わかりません。キリツグは正規の手順で私を呼び寄せました。マスターとしての適性が高かったキリツグは、歴史のある魔術師の家系に雇われ、聖杯戦争に参加した。
Bro, did she really not? She should remember the Einsbergs too, right? Because I'm fairly certain Ilya's mom said, "Hey, I'm an Einsberg." Whatever.
マスターとしての準備は、その家系がすべて揃えたと言います。彼らは私の遺品をコーンウォールから発掘し、キリツグに委ねて聖杯戦争に臨ませた。キリツグはそれを触媒にして私を召喚したのです。
And they at least said in this route, that was Saber at her best. Like, she had everything outside of, like, really Avalon, because they wanted to keep that away from her just in case, for whatever reason or another, and also to make sure, I think, Einsberg, because I forget her first name, Ilya's mom, was okay and healed. If she did got to have Avalon as she fought, we don't really know how that would have changed the game.
ですから、キリツグ本人には私を呼び寄せる因子もなければ、属性が近いというわけでもありません。シローが私を引き寄せたのは、何か別の力が働いたからでしょう。
I mean, I would say not everything about that is true. Like, he does have, kind of like with you and Shiro now, there are traits maybe some that you regret or some that can be very bad, but there are traits that you, Shiro, and Kiritsugu definitely share. For sure. I got it. I'm not sure that I'm surprised that my old man was a master. What does surprise me is that the servant is the same King Arthur with me now. And one more thing. Saber said that the Holy Grail was destroyed. Then maybe this war is meaningless to begin with. No, the grails are weird, man. There's lesser grails, there's a greater grail, there's the inside of the grail. There's a whole fucking thing, man. True. I guess if the world has to summon you, that means the world, the quote-unquote throne of heroes, has a omnipresence that allows it to know the Grail is still alive. Your pact is not broken. Very true. Now, is it a lesser or greater one? For something, quote, so powerful to grant anything, it can't repair itself. It sounds like they're saying simp, by the way, whenever they say priest. Simple. The guy living in the church, the overseer of the Holy Grail War, right, that we haven't talked to in a very long time. Maybe we should go do that. Man who's managing the Holy Grail should be able to answer all of my questions. The end of the previous war, the whereabouts of the destroyed Holy Grail, and how the archer is still around. Right, because he did say to them in this route that he was a participant in the other Grail War. And yeah, what did Kiritsugu see at the end of the battle that made him want to destroy the Holy Grail War? I don't think he knows the specifics about that either, but it doesn't matter. He'll twist the answers however he feels like it. I wake up alone. Even if she recovered, Saber still needs to sleep on occasion. The moment we return to our room, Saber immediately falls asleep. I went to bed as well, if only to make her feel better. That was about an hour ago. It's past midnight. I should be able to get out of the house without Saber or Tuska noticing at this hour. I mean, they know your habits, so it's not like they're not going to, like, have those lingering thoughts, my guy. So it's just, you know. Wait. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, my. Did you not learn your lesson with Elia? Oh, maybe she'll come with. But did you not learn your lesson? Whenever you sneak out by yourself without Saber or Tosaka, or both, ideally, it doesn't end well for you, Shiro. It really, really doesn't. Ah, but he's a kid, so he's got to learn the hard way. My way, hydrate. I thought of using my bike, but I just run the risk of waking them up. So I walk. I mean, you can always, like, walk it a little bit and then ride it, like, once you're a fair distance away. There's not a single person outside. It's late, but the silence is still eerie. Everything about this town during this Grail War should be eerie to you. The air is frozen. There doesn't seem to be any signs of life in the buildings. On the other hand, it feels like dark, sinister is swirling at my feet. Did something happen to the town while Elia had me prisoner? It's like a bad omen hangs over the entire place. I looked up towards the mountains in the distance. Ryudu Temple, which stands at a distance away from the town, only looks like a black lump from here. So is teacher who summoned Medea in the other route, is he still alive? Like, how does this work? I guess he would still be alive and kicking with some command spells, so he could still do stuff, I guess. But that, it looks like it's swaying in the night air, rumbling and throbbing. I cross the dark river and walk into Shinto. On that day, the night I met Saber for the first time, and then walked across the bridge with Tosuka, seems so long ago. For us, it definitely feels like it with this playthrough. I see the church. I've never been here before. I may have said as much to Tosuka, but I did have a connection with the church. If things have gone differently, I would have ended up under the care of the church and then been adopted by some family later. Now, that's an interesting what if. What if Kiritsugu didn't raise Shiro? What if, for some weird reason or another, the church, aka the hospital, gave the kid over to the church and said, hey, he's your problem now as an orphan. And then Kirei's like, Solgasta. That's an interesting what if. I feel like, hold on. Side tangent, but it's going to be a quick one. Isn't there an FGO? Because FGO has so many variations. Isn't there a Shiro that's raised? Yeah, Shiro Kotomine. Yo! Like, he would have just turned out like this. He just would have turned out like this. Buddy, damn. Crazy energy coming off him. But maybe he would have met Rin, too? I don't know. Yeah, okay. Well, this guy is from... This guy is from the Apocalypse series. Or Apocrypha, excuse me. He's from the Apocrypha series. But he, I guess, is the closest thing to a Shiro Emiya raised by Kotomine that we would probably really get. Yeah. He's probably the closest thing that we would get. But it is definitely fascinating by his own words. Like, hey, it was either Emiya or the church, a.k.a. Emiya or Kotomine. What path would have Shiro gone down? That's an interesting what if. That's a very, very interesting and maybe even terrifying what if. Because I don't think it's a matter of would he have been able to change his mind on who he was. It's a matter of how far dragged down will Kotomine bring Shiro in his own malevolent mindset. That would have been interesting. Although, him and him and Gilgamesh? That might have been cool. Anyway, that is a very fun thing to think about, like, as a what if. Oh, shit, why are you zoomed in? There we go. Okay. That is a very interesting what if. Okay. Let me transition back. All right, let's get back to the game. It would have been either the Emiya family or the church. One hell of a fork in the road. 10 years ago, all the kids in the hospital were orphans. The church took them all in, at least temporarily. Ooh, oh boy. I was the only one in the group of the orphans to be adopted from the hospital. That's probably why I've been unconsciously avoiding the church out of guilt. You have such survivor skill. It's crazy, man. Crazy. It's always why. Even 11 days ago, I told Tosca it was my first time going to the church. I can't believe it, too. I actually never thought about it. But yes, this entire route, the entire chain of events normally takes place within like 11 some odd days. Wild. Wild. Time for church, everyone. Time for church. The lights inside the church are on. I don't really like the priest, but there are things I need to ask him. Again, you could have done this with Saber, just saying. I take a deep breath and I put my hand on my heavy church, on the heavy church doors. I almost said my heavy church doors. I'm like, what? Here we go. Back to the church music, boys. Back to the church. I step inside as I call out for him. There is nobody in the chapel. The lights are on, but this vast space is quiet. I find myself more nervous than if it were dark. There's no reply. I can't keep going any further, so I might have to give up for tonight. I whirl around when I hear a sound from behind me. Again, you chose to go by yourself. You know, whatever happens, on you again, Shiro. Every time I hear his voice, man. The sudden appearance leaves me speechless. Sure. Does this man ever sleep, actually? That's a good question. We see in Heaven's Feel like he wakes up, prays, and does that entire thing. Does he ever sleep? Kotomine sounds bored. Turns back to the door he came through. Man has principles. As Kotomine says so, he opens the door to the back of the church. Why? Why not? You've done terrible things in this chapel. Don't you lie. Kotomine doesn't bother asking my opinion. He just disappears into the back of the church. I've come this far. I can't go home empty-handed. I steel myself, determined not to let Kotomine intimidate me this time, and I head toward the back of the church. I wonder, how are we going to end Kotomine's story this time? It is a nice place here. However, putrid it is. That's not supposed to be an attempt on anything. It's just, this is Kotomine's place, and I know what Kotomine's place means. I know what this place means. But it is a very beautiful, especially courtyard area. The garden and the passageways are too magnificent for Kotomine to live here. Exactly. The priest disappears around yet another corner. No, he ain't. Said keep up. I complain to myself as I chased after Kotomine. The church is a small labyrinth, so I don't have any choice but to follow Kotomine. Is this the same fucking room that him and Gilgamesh talk into? I think it is. I think this is the same fucking room. They have their strategical meeting and was like, Kotomine, what do you have as an ambition as a human? Nothing. Nothing at all. Certainly you must have something. Not a one. Then maybe that is your ambition, to find meaning. Some crazy shit. We enter a modest stone chamber. This simple room, far from the elegance of the chapel and courtyard, must be Father Kotomine's private room.
もてなすものの一つもないが許せ。
The priest makes his apology as he plops down onto a sofa. I smell the faint aroma of what might be wine. For the smell to linger in this room, he must really like wine. Oh, yeah. Him and Gilgamesh just drink that shit all the time.
話があるのではなかったか。そこでほうけられていても迷惑だが。
What's wrong, Crew? I thought you came here to talk. If you are going to just stand there like a fool, I'm going to be very annoyed. When aren't you annoyed?
誰もほうけてなんかいない。この部屋が意外だったから驚いていただけで、すぐに要件を済ませて帰る。
それは何より。私も子供に付き合うほど暇ではない。質問は手短にしてもらおう。
The priest really gets on my nerves. That's the whole point, man. Don't let him do that. I feel like he's reading my mind, and whenever I try to deal with him directly, I just get intimidated.
それで話は何だ、エミヤシロ。一応教えられることはすべて教えたつもりだが。
Cap. False.
嘘つけ。あんたは知ってたはずだ。親父がセイバーのマスターだったこと、最後に聖杯を壊しちまったこと。あんたは聖杯を管理してる監督役なんだからな。
ほう。セイバー自身がそう言ったのか。
ああ。前回の聖杯戦争はそうして終わったって聞いた。
He's probably trying to feel like, what the hell did she tell you? The priest falls silent, contemplating something.
サーバントが前回の記憶を受け継いでいるというのは異常だ。
Smart.
セイバーは故障しているのか、それともあのセイバーそのものが異常なのか。
Oh, you have no idea, man.
何せよ、通常のサーバントとは言えないな。
Nope.
英霊は記憶など持たない。過去、現在、未来、いかなる時代にも呼び出される連中に記憶があっては。
I mean, for them,
が生じる。
time is relevant. They are outside the time axis. They are in a state of being and not being at the exact same time.
奴らにあるものは生前の記録だけだ。死後英霊となってからの出来事は一切記憶されないはずだが。
He ponders this as if he still is not convinced. I get it. Kotomina doesn't know that Saber hasn't fully become a heroic spirit, so he cannot truly understand the situation.
それが違うんだ。セイバーは他のサーバントとは事情が違うらしい。
Why would you tell him this?
事情が違う？なるほど。わざわざ訪れた要件はそれか。いいだろう。話してみろ。
His haughty attitude pisses me off. But I don't have time to deal with that. That's another word I gotta use more. Haughty. I don't like it, but this man might be able to give me a clear explanation. Wrong, sir. Wrong.
あいつはまだ英霊になる契約をしていない。死の淵であいつが願ったのが聖杯を手に入れることで、その代償として英霊になることを認めた。
I would not be telling him this. But again, he doesn't know yet. He doesn't know.
聖杯を手に入れるまでは死なず、手に入れてしまえば完全なサーバントになるって言ってた。
Which is kind of bullshit. I feel like if you get the Grail in the first place, which was her wish, it's also doubled down as, oh, as a servant, you can then choose to not then go back into the reincarnation cycle. You can maybe even fade away. Because she's not technically a full servant. And on top of that, she didn't use the world to become a hero, which would then put her in the throne of heroes. She was a hero by herself, but the fact that she used the world / the throne of heroes at all for any kind of wish, I guess, kind of dooms her no matter what. But it's like her wish is kind of in this weird state of being. So I feel like you could argue, she had like Saul Goodman. You could argue by getting the Holy Grail this time around, not only will she be able to finally die, but you can argue because she is and isn't a servant at the same exact time, she shouldn't go back into the cycle of being a servant and then truly lose all her memories. She should just not go into the Throne of Heroes at all. But maybe that's something that Shiro will have to do with his side of the wish, because the master and the servant get wishes. So it's like, I wish that Saber does not become a servant. Or I wish for Saber to, I don't know, something. Because the fucking, we'll get there. They're probably going to answer it again. They're probably going to say it again in this, but the Grail is some bullshit. The Grail, it's just some bullshit, okay?
死んでいない。では、セーバーはまだ輪廻の枠にとどまっているということか。
Mm-hmm.
他の英霊のように時間から外れたわけでは。
And that's what we're saying.
ああ、そういうことだと思う。遠坂はセイバーは一人で時間に止まっているとも言ってた。
Carved out of time.
そうか。英霊のようにことが済めば消えるのではなく、聖杯を手に入れるまでは英霊として借り出されるということか。だが、あれは未だ聖杯を手に入れていないため、失敗するたびに死の直前にいる自身に戻ってしまう。そうして前回の記憶を持ったまま、今回も呼び出された。わざわざ死ぬために聖杯を求めるとは、英雄というのはわからぬな。そうして手に入れたところで、待っているのはサーバントとして刺激されることだけだろうに。
そうだ。たとえ聖杯を手に入れて、あいつが望みを叶えたところで、あいつは他のサーバ
Right.
ントと同じ。
Kind of bullshit, but yeah.
俺にはそれが納得いかない。そもそも、サーバントって何なんだ？英霊を使い魔にするっていうが、セイバーみたいに矛盾した英霊もあり得るのか？
True.
さあ、そのあたりのシステムなど知らんよ。
Mm-hmm. I mean, to be fair, I don't think a lot of people know how the Throne of Heroes actually works. I feel like that needs to be dived in greater detail.
魂の永続。その秘宝を真似て作られたのがサーバントシステムだ。こればかりは立案者であった当時の人間しか知るまい。
Right. Who established it?
魂の永続？
いや、もともとはそういうものだっただけという関係のないことだ。忘れろ。それでエミヤしろ。つまるところ、お前はあのセーバーをサーバントではなくしたいというのだな。
Is that what I want? I don't think Saber's situation is messed up. Aiming for the Holy Grail is all well and good, but afterwards the only thing waiting for her is her disappearance. Even if someone other than King Arthur is chosen as king, and when King Arthur ceases to exist in our history, the hero King Arthur will continue to be used by who knows how many others. That seems wrong to me. So yes, she wants to give up her history in our timeline, in history in general, but she'll still be used as a servant of King Arthur of some kind, or the ideal of King Arthur, you know. Yeah, it's very fucked up. So if she cannot stop being a servant and just live a normal life, I mean, is it though?
いかに時間に止まっていようと、私たちにとってセーバーは死んだものだ。
Wrong, and you know you're lying about that. We know that Archer is somehow alive. And it has been told to us that servants aim to come back to life. A lot of them do.
彼女を現世に呼び出しているのは聖杯の力であり、彼女が英霊になる交換条件を飲んだからだろう。聖杯を求めない彼女はサーバントとして召喚されることはない。そして聖杯を求める以上、遅かれ早かれ彼女は完全なサーバントになるだろう。たとえ今回が失敗に終わっても、彼女にはチャンスなど無限にある。セイバーはインジ君にとどまっているため、 聖杯を手に入れる機会を同時に行えるというわけでもないし、一度失敗した試練をやり直すということもできない。
Interesting. So, I guess that's a good question then, because if the servants are existing outside of time and space, gets into some crazy meta time analogy, but if, like, let's say another Iskandar was to be summoned during the events of Fate Zero in a previous timeline, and let's say in another alternate universe, and won, I guess then all Iskandars at some point or another should know that they're going to win. I guess.
一度失敗した試練は何度やり直そうと失敗する。結果を体験しているからといって決定した結果は変えられないからな。
Oh, jeez. I choked on my own air. I was gonna say, I guess maybe that doesn't make sense, because if that's the case, then the only servants that get summoned are the ones that will never win. And then if you do summon one and they do win, I guess that's a contradiction, because again, they exist outside of time and space. So in theory, if they do win at some point in existence, then they should never win because they never show up. It gets weird. It gets into some like weird time science. But maybe that's some like Doc Brown shit. That's like, that's not how that works or whatever.
聖杯を手に入れる機会はこの聖杯戦争だけではない。聖杯に関する試練はあらゆる時代に存在する。
It's likely only a matter of time before she obtains the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is not the only chance she has at doing so. There are trials to obtain the Holy Grail in every era.
そのすべてをしらみつぶしに続けていけば、いずれ聖杯は手に入れられる。
So, okay, then here's another question then. If she does enter the cycle here afterwards, then if someone has a chance to summon her throughout history, that has already happened, but in another timeline, then she could be summoned. See, this gets into some crazy multiversal shit, and it kind of like makes your mind go fuzzy.
そもそも彼女は結果として聖杯を手に入れるからこそ英霊として召喚されているのだ。
That was her wish, yeah.
お前の聖馬をサーバントでなくす方法など、あれがお前の前に現れた時点で存在しまいよ。
As far as we know. I knew it. As long as Saber seeks the Holy Grail, there's no way she can avoid becoming a servant. She will stay like this forever unless she decides to use the Holy Grail for herself. Even if this Holy Grail war ends and there's no need to fight anymore, she doesn't attain the Holy Grail. She just has to try again next time. The moment she obtains it, she turns into this so-called heroic spirit and is sent across time.
じゃあ聖杯を手に入れようが手に入れまいが、あいつはずっとサーバントのままなのか。
いや、そうとは限らんだろう。聖杯が本当に万能の杯であるのなら、セーバーを救うことはできる。
If, though, if the Holy Grail is truly omnipotent.
けど、あんたはさっきそれは不可能だと。
By our standards.
なあ、セーバーをサーバントでなくすのは不可能だ。だがお前が望んでいるのは、セーバーを人としてこの世に留まらせることだろう。ならば、そう難しいことではない。聖杯戦争が終わった後、サーバントを人として生かすこともできる。もっとも、死んでしまえば死の直前にいる彼女に戻ることになるが。
それはどうやって？
英霊とサーバントは似て非なるものということだ。
There are differences. So there is a difference between a heroic spirit and a servant. Again, that line of difference I feel gets muddied later on.
通常英霊と として召喚される者には意志などない。連中はただ目的を果たすためだけの道具として召喚され消え去っていく。だがサーバントは別だ。あれは聖杯によって呼び出された本体だからな。
They are the original body that was summoned by the Holy Grail. The original
それ
bodies.
ならば世界に留めておくだけで人として生きていこう。
Really?
そんなこと
That feels like some weird logic that should have been brought up, but okay.
前回セイバーは聖杯が壊れた時点で消えたと言っていた。聖杯がなくなってしまえばサーバントは残っていられないんじゃないのか。
無論だ。サーバントを呼び出すのは聖杯であり、その後に彼らを維持させるのがマスターの役割だ。
So the Grail summons servants and heroic spirits. However, servants have a greater chance of staying.
だがそれも聖杯がマスターの後押しをしているからでね。本来魔術師一人程度の魔力ではサーバントを維持できない。聖杯という強大な魔力提供源がなければサーバントは消えてしまう。
Hmm. So, do we have to wish for the Grail to give Shiro a massive energy boost?
だろうな。なら
いや、足りないのなら補えばいいだけの話だろう。
Mm-hmm.
サーバントにとって魔力提供など代償行為に過ぎない。連中の本質は魂食いだ。存在濃度が薄れ始めたのなら他人の魂で補充すればよい。
So, wish for them to never get hungry again? That might be a little cruel, though. Is he telling me to attack random people like Shinji? So, okay. So, as the thing is over, have her attack people and then she'll stay around.
ふざけるな。そんなことできるものか。大体な、セイバー自身そこまでして残ろうと思ってない。
Mm-hmm.
そうか。ならばあとは聖杯の中身を使うしかあるまい。簡単な話だ。
Have her drink from the Holy Grail. All right. The essence of the Holy Grail, right? Right. This is the Sakura stuff. And what Gilgamesh bathed in last time. Yeah, the Grail and this kind of stuff of fate gets into a very muddy waters, man. He must have anticipated my resistance on that. The look on his face tells me that this is the conclusion he wanted me to reach this whole time. Yeah, he's trying to bait you, my man.
それは聖杯で俺の願いを叶えろってことか。
いや、それはお前の願いとは関係がない。聖杯の中身はそういう。
The very energy inside of the Grail.
リンから聞かなかったか。サーバントは杯に満ちた水を飲むことによって。
Not specifically drinking. She did not say those words, but okay. So Gilgamesh drank from the Holy Grail, but in reality, we know what happened. He bathed in that shit when, like, it exploded.
それはこの時代の使い魔として立場を確立したに過ぎぬがな。肉体は依然サーバントのままだが、マスターさえ存命ならば、この世界にとどまれるようになる。
Really? Even if they ate souls? Like, even if they did that? Like, oh, I'm just gonna go eat people? So Gilgamesh, in theory, if Kirei were to die, Gilgamesh is gone. And it doesn't matter if he wants to eat souls or not. Okay. So basically, you can have a life where you have Saber here with you, I guess. That's no solution. Even if she were able to stay in this world, it would be pointless if she is still a servant. She wouldn't be able to exist without magical energy from her master, and even if she managed to live in this world for a long time, she'd just go back to the hill after her death, and then become a servant again. Or this time, not a servant, a heroic spirit. Saber would never agree to such a thing. So you really are caught between a rock and a hard place. Just, you might have to wish for her to just be outside the cycle of reincarnation and also the, or maybe have her not be a part of the heroic throne, and then she could go back in the cycle of reincarnation. So when she dies, she can still be someone in the world of the living. However, you also have to convince her not to use her wish to erase her history. That would be, I feel like, the harder part of that. But you could get her to at least not be a servant through some roundabout way using a wish, but she would still want to use her wish to get rid of her history. She doesn't care about a second life. She insists she's going to use the Holy Grail for something else. But then again, does the Holy Grail, the key to it all, even still exist within the world?
聖杯を手に入れるしかないってことだろう。けど、聖杯はあるのか？もう何かね。聖杯がないのなら戦う理由がない。こんな馬鹿げた殺し合いは無意味だ。
So he's thinking, is there a grail?
戦う理由はないか。何を今さら。元より君に理由などない。
Fair. And he says that, and time seems just to stop. There's no reason to fight. He told me that before. I just became a master, and I didn't have much of a reason to fight. So at the time, what he said didn't sink in. I just ignored them, thinking he was being sarcastic. But what about now? There's a reason for me to fight. If there's a holy grail, I want to end this war, and if possible, I want to give the grail to Saber. There is a reason for me to fight. A perfectly good one at that. But why? Why does this simple word makes me shake so much I feel like I'm about to vomit up everything I've held in so far? I'm surprised we're still on this day, because I'm pretty sure we still have 2 days left. Like, fuck. Like, tomorrow, I'm going to have to probably speed blitz this. Unless the next day is going to be very, very short. A voice shatters the stillness that had locked up my thoughts. Yeah, like, we're still on... we're still on day 13. Yeah, we still have, like, 14 and 15. We're still here. But I think we're just about to end. So we got to speed blitz this. We have to muscle through. And then I'm hoping to at least try and finish day 14 today. That way tomorrow it should just be day 15, but we'll see. A voice statters the stillness that had locked up my thoughts. It's the voice of a man I don't want to hear, but the voice at least settles the wave of nausea I feel creeping up on me. Mm-hmm.
無論相応の技術が必要となってくるが、もとよりその技術なくして聖杯戦争は成り立たなかった。もともと聖杯とは神の血を受け継いだ杯ではなく、古より伝わる魔法の鎌が原型なのだ。
The magical pot. Alright, so we're rewriting the Grail lore. Okay, so it is not the blood of Christ. It's not the blood of God. It is a magical pot that has been passed down for ancient times. So it consists of what? True magic? The penultimate magic in the Fate universe. True magic. From the realm of the gods and stuff.
ギリシャ語でたどり着けない場所という意味を持つそこには、願いを叶える万能の鎌があるとされた。
Utopia. Okay, so this pot is from Utopia.
このあらゆる神話の根底にある万能の鎌を再現しようとした魔術師たちがいた。 それがアインツベルン、マキリ、遠坂の三家だ。
Einsberg, Makakari, and Tosaka. Hold on, what's Shinji's last name again? I always keep forgetting. What's Shinji's last name? Mato. So who are the Makaris? Wait, I almost said Macarena. Who are the Makaris? I don't recognize that name. Einsberg and Tosaka, sure. Makakiri? Makakiri. Yeah, wait, who the fuck are you? I'm seeing the Matois as I'm looking this up. But who the fuck are you? Zoken? Wait a minute. That's not Zoken. What the hell happened? What the fuck? How is this the same dude? He just looks like if you took Ku and Kirei and mixed it together. Who the fuck? Wait a minute. Are the Matois known as something different? What the? What? Okay, I can't show that fan art because there's a certain funny symbol on there. Hang on a second. Matois versus Makakiri. Who? In the Fate series, Fate Stay Night, Matoi is the current name of the family, while Makari was their previous name before they emigrated to Japan from Europe. The Matoi family originally the Zolgan family. Oh my god, they've had so many names. The Zolgan family changed their name to Makari and then later into the Mato to escape persecute Russia. What? Wait a minute. Shinji's from Russia? Persecution from Russia and established themselves in Japan. Zoken Matoi, the family patriarch, is the one who made these. All right, this gotta be this has to be in Heaven's Field, in like the actual visual novel. This was nowhere mentioned in Unlimited Blade Works, the anime adaptation, and also it was mentioned nowhere in the actual movie of Heaven's Field. The Zoken family was in. What the fuck? All right. The Cursed family. All right. All right. So they go by a fucking crap ton of names. They have a gazillion names. The Zolgan family, the Makari family, the Mato family. They got it all. Who? Paper Moon. Mockery. Wait, Mockery Zolkin? He has both names. What the fuck? Also, I can't believe this is Zoken. This is Zoken? Zoken. Human Zoken. Crazy. Let me see. Mockery Zolgan. In Fate Grand Order, I have not gotten that far then. Mato Zoken in Fate Grand Order. 500 years. 500 years? What the hell? How long have you been? Okay. Bugs, man. Bugs. All right, you know what? The Zoken family are the Zolgan, Mockery, Mato, whatever the fuck they are. They have a weird history. They have a very long and weird history compared to the other two. And that's saying something because the Ironbergs are basically just golems and homunculi's. Whatever. All right. There were three families: Einsbergs, the Mockeries, and the Tosikas.
連中は何代かにわたって万能の釜を再現する儀式を模索し、200年前にそれを完成させた。
They decided and managed to complete it. Okay.
それが一度目の聖杯戦争。人工物に過ぎない聖杯に万能の釜を降霊させ、道を開こうとした儀式だ。
200 years ago. What the fuck was there 200 years ago? Like in history. In history. $200 years ago, approximately, because this is technically we're now further away. So it would have been around the 1800s. 200 years ago, the United States was expanding. Let's go 1800s. Because the events of Fate's Day Night take place in the early 2000s, if I'm not wrong. The 1800s witnessed major global events, including the Napoleonic War, the Industrial Revolution spreading from Europe and changing economies, the expansion of the United States to the Louisiana Purchase, Western expansion, major Appalachian movements, American Civil War, the significant inventions like the telegram and motion pictures, the Irish Potato Famine, California Gold Rush, the first modern Olympics. When the fuck did they decide to have the Holy Grail War then? 200 years ago. Yeah, it takes place in 2004, so 1804. So in 1804, historical events. In 1804, the United States ratified the 12th Amendment. Saul Vice President Aaron Buford fatally shot Alexander Hamilton in a duel and began the Lewis and Clark expedition to explore the Louisiana Purchase. In Europe, Napoleon Bonaparte was crowned Emperor of France. Austria, Francis II, became the Hierarchy Emperor. Other significant events include the declaration of Hattinan independence and the beginning of the Fulani and Russo-Persian Wars. Let's see. Basically, Napoleonic era. Napoleonic era. So the first Holy Grail War started during the Napoleonic War. Interesting. Is that why they gassed Napoleon in FGO? Is that why they gas him? Like, oh yeah, this is why he looks like a fucking Giga Chad? Because the first Holy Grail, if we go off of the Fate's Day Night timeline, took place then? Really? There are three family... Let me see. Right, Utopia. Research and production. 200 years ago, they managed to complete it. That was the first Holy Grail War, the ritual that attempted to open a path by calling forth the omnipotent pot. That was nothing more than the artificial Holy Grail. So this entire fight, it's not even the real thing that they saw all those centuries ago. Yep.
アインツベルンはラインの黄金とやらの伝承に長けていてな。こと聖杯の模造品を作る技術は神業だった。
Right, which is what we see in Unlimited Blade Works.
だが、それだけでは聖杯を呼び出すことはできん。ふさわしい土地と強力な呪縛が必要となる。
Right, some ley lines.
それらを提供したのが 遠坂とマキリだ。当時教会と魔術協会は係争の真っ最中だったからな。儀式には教会の目が届かない極東の地が選ばれた。
I guess so. So that's why they transitioned from Europe. Oh. So while the European War was going on with Napoleon and all that shit, they said, let's go to Japan. No church members there, although you have Portuguese and stuff, I guess you can argue. But they were kicked out. You can argue they probably had some kind of church there, but fair enough. They go to Japan, say, fuck the church. We'll do our thing and have our little weird battle royale here. Crazy. The Einsbergs must have anticipated something like this might have happened and invited the Tosaka clan to join forces. The Tosaka clan was the owner of the spiritual land in this area, and their master was skilled necromancer. What the? Whoa. That has never been said before. Rin has a Sungjin Woo among her? What the fuck? Oh my god. Why are you doing jewels then? Fuck the jewels. Fuck the jewels. Yo. Arise. That's what she be. If she would have been doing that, it would have been over. It would have been over. Really? And the third? Right. Thinking of the situation should be a system of checks and balances. The Tosakas brought the Makuri family. Okay. So they fought and were like, alright, this is stupid. We need a third. That's why there's 3 families. They have substantial history. They're the ones who made the command spells to bind servants. So these fuckers, even with 3 of them, just said, nah, fuck you guys. I want this all for myself. The first summoning of the Holy Grail ended with the families were busy fighting each other. Alright, this is just a fucking idiotic collaboration that falls apart. What the fuck is this? So they fought each other over it, gave each other rules, though, as it kept going on, worked with each other, only then to fight with each other again. This is some dumb shit. This is really dumb. So Tosakas provide the land, the system to model servants, aka using probably some necromancy. Makiri then provided command spells to bind them, and then obviously the Einsbergs can make the Holy Grail, thus sustain the servants to last longer till the fighting's over. Right. So, here's a crazy question. Let's say, like, let's say that Oppenheimer, instead of we dropping the atomic bombs on Nagasaki, what if we dropped it on Fuyumi over here, where our main story takes place, and the 3 great houses just got annihilated? Would the Grail still be in system, or because the 3 who made it and this whole system are now gone, it can no longer exist. So if you kill all 3 of the families, basically, I guess is what I'm trying to say, can you essentially be like, yo, fuck the system? Fuck this. If all 3 families die, will the Grail system go away, I wonder? Guess maybe you can argue then why not just kill one family? But then we've seen other of them die, so maybe that's not... Maybe you do need all of them to die, though. I'm not sure what's so amusing about this, but the priest seems to enjoy telling me about it. You know, he loves conflict, man. Conflict resolution? Nah. Conflict and more conflict? Yes, please. But I see, they say that the Holy Grail is a ritual, but I didn't know that Elia and Tosca's families were the ones who created the whole thing, and then the Matois came in to make sure everything was peachy and dandy. In a way. Until it got out of hand again.
前回切り継ぎに裏切られた彼らは最強の切り札を投入してきた。おそらくアインツベルンの娘が聖杯を持っているのだろう。
So now he knows that he was hired by the Einsbergs, his father. Elia holds the Grail. That's weird. I don't think I saw anything among her belongings that look like the Holy Grail.
さて、これで気は済んだか。お前が何を悩むのかは私には知り得ない。だが解決する手段は聖杯のみだ。それが分かったのなら早々に帰るがいい。戦いはまだ終わっていない。セーバーもつけずに出歩くのは正気の沙汰ではないぞ。
余計なお世話だ。まだランサーのマスターが残っていることぐらい。
Hold on. There's one more thing I need to ask.
ことみね。聖杯が消えればサーバントも消える。あんたはそう言ったな。
言ったが、何か問題でも。
終わりだ。何者かは知らないが、8人目のサーファントがいた。セイバーの話じゃ、あいつは前回からずっとこの場に残ってるって話だぞ。
Bro, this acting. What? Nani? Oh, couldn't be. I can see he's shocked. Kotomine's eyes go wide.
どういうことだ、コトミネ。あんたなら少しはわかると思ってきたんだぞ。
消えなかったサーバントがいるということだな。
Which is crazy because in the Heaven's Field route, they're just in the church chilling together. Like, whatever plan they had to do in that route kind of got averted because Shiro and them immediately go to help fix Sakura. Let me see. Can I find it? Yeah. Hold on. Where's the full goddamn picture? Like, he's just chilling with Kotemine in the church. He's just goddamn chilling. Like, it's no big deal. Like, oh yeah, by the way, hey, I'm here. Like, imagine, like, he still tries to pull that bullshit off. But no, like, in this other timeline, it's like, oh yeah, they found out, like, and saw you here. It's like, okay, I guess I can't do anything then. Can't pull up like a stud. Not anymore. Not anymore. So whatever they're doing here about, like, pulling the wool over the eyes of them, that guy disappeared in the Heaven's Field route. Right, with the contents spilling out.
セーバーの他にもう一人サーバントは残っていた。セイバーは潔く消えたが、そのサーバントが限界することを望んだのなら話はたやすい。それは魂を喰らうことで魔力を補い、この10年間生き続けたのだろう。
That's one answer.
そんなバカな。あ あいつの気配は異常だった。あんなのが10年間もいたら、親父だってあんただって気がつくはずだ。
分かっている。おそらくかくまっている者がいたのだろう。そのサーバントのマスターか。
もしくはなんだよ。
聖杯戦争を知りながらマスターの資格を持ち得なかった魔術師だ。そういった人物には一人心当たりがあるのだが、それもないな。マキリのご老体はとうに隠居している。
So instead of Makikiri, they go by Mato. Kotomine must be satisfied as he gets up from the sofa.
話はここまでだ。今の話を聞いては監督役として放ってはおけん。そのサーバントに関しては私が調べよう。お前は残るランサーとの戦いに専念するがいい。
Kotomine heads to the exit, indicating there is something else to discuss. There's definitely nothing more to be gained by staying here. I follow Kotomine out of the dark stone room. From here, he leads me to the entrance in silence. I leave the church, and behind me... The priest puts that to me, maybe to make certain I remember. He watches me from the door with a condescending twist in his lips. Saber will die if she obtains the Holy Grail. I do not need anyone to remind me of that. Saber's goal is to obtain the Holy Grail only. But she doesn't want its power for herself. Now, as long as she obtains the Holy Grail, nothing will bind Saber anymore. And then she will, be binded again. She will be freed from going back to the point from where she was death, and she will truly die, and then enter a cycle.
あんたがそんな忠告をするたまか。
なに、お前がセーバーに肩入れしている様は喜ばしいのでな。聖杯を手に入れてしまえばセーバーは消える。彼女と共にいたいのならば、聖杯は諦めるべきだろうとな。
If you wish to be with her, you should give up the Holy Grail.
それこそ矛盾してる。聖杯がなかったらセイバーをとどめておけない。
聖杯に頼ることはあるまい。先ほどのサーバントの話もある。セーバーを存命させたいのなら、魂を与え続ければいいだけではない。
I mean, it's not wrong. That is the easy way.
ふざけるな。そんなことできるもんか。
That's not Saber. I glare at the priest.
そうか。それは残念だ。
My glare has no effect on him. He laughs in amusement.
ならば、聖杯の中身に期待するしかないな。お前のサーバントが望まないにしても、霊樹を一つ残しておけばそれでいい。お前の望みはそれで叶う。
That's true. You could say the wish is that Saber doesn't become a servant, and that at the same time, using your command spell, I forbid you to make a wish that isn't for yourself. He's saying it doesn't matter if Saber doesn't want it. If I'm her master, I just need to force her to drink from the Holy Grail using the power of the command spell. That's also fair. Because then she, I guess, could be here, then still use her wish. Then he could use his wish. Okay.
おや、失言だったか。そう睨むな。あくまで今のは忠告に過ぎぬ。ま、セイバーの意志を尊重するのもよかろう。彼女の人生だ。我々が口を出す権利はない。
Sure.
例のサーバントに関しては明日中に調べ上げよう。
Yeah, I bet
気
you
が
will.
向いたのならもう一度訪れるがいい。
The church door closes. I glance up at the towering church before I turn to leave. Now we are on our way back. I have a funny feeling this time it's not going to be a quick montage to get across. This is the path I once walked with Saber. I was just looking at the scenery, not thinking about anything at that time.
聖杯を手に入れればセーバーは死ぬ。その意味が分かっているのだろうな、エミヤシロ。
I know. I don't need him to tell me. But why is everything so complicated? Saber shouldn't obtain the Holy Grail. But the only thing that can save her is the Holy Grail.
彼女と共にいたいのならば聖杯は諦めるべきだろう。それでも存命させたいのなら彼女に魂を与え続ければいい。
I can't do that. Even if I asked her to do that, she would refuse. She would choose to disappear if that were the alternative. She will disappear, and then she'll have to do another Holy Grail war all over again.
ならばレイジを一つ残しておけばそれでいい。お前の望みはそれで叶う。
All his options discussed Shiro. Kotomine's words are poison. I can't get rid of them. In rage, I smash my fist against a nearby rail, desperately hoping to clear my mind. I hear the echoing metallic clang. There is no other sound. Not so much as a car or another person passing by. I lean against the rail, grumbling to myself. I know I should just ignore Kotomine. But there's some sort of power to his words. I can't ignore them. What do I want to do? What am I fighting for? In the beginning, it was to stop the Holy Grail War. When did that become secondary? Did it happen when I started to stubbornly fight on my own? Did it happen when I realized how helpless I am and started to cooperate with Saber? Or did it happen when I made a sword for her, after her souls entwined that night in the ruins? No, that's all nonsense. I don't need to think about it. Since the beginning, my mind's been made up since I met her in the shed. The sight of her illuminated by the moonlight. That would have been fine had I not shared the dream of her past and so not known any better. It would have been over without me noticing, but I didn't find out. I knew I couldn't leave her alone, and I started to hope I could somehow not lose her. I wished to stay this way. I wanted to keep seeing her smile. The image of a girl watching the sunset alone on that hill, strewn with the sword. My chest hurts whenever I think of that scene. She never took any time for herself. That always bothered me. Kiritsugu always said not to make a girl cry. I much prefer her smiling face to her tears. That is why I was so angry Saber never smiled. But then when I told her to smile, she always replied that she would rather see me smile. That's like looking at an unreachable star through a telescope. I looked up at the night sky. I stare at the stars that I could have never reached. I trickle. I don't know how it formed, but I feel a tear slide down my cheek. Ooh.
俺あいつが好きだ。
Damn. I guess so. In this route, that makes sense. I say that to nobody. Hey, I'm here. As dense as I may be, I have to at least admit how I feel. I can't stop the feelings anymore. I've realized and I've fallen in love with her, so much so that thinking about her can bring me to tears. Yo, he finally realizes, man. He just had a bloom of character.
おかえり。ずいぶんと遅かったわね。
You can't escape. You can't escape from these women. I hear Tosuka's voice as I arrive. She's standing at the entrance.
父さん、お前なんで？
玄関で立ち話もなんでしょ。疲れてるみたいだし、こっち来なさいよ。
There's still more in this goddamn day? What the fuck? Can we please move on to the next day already? Oh my god. Please. I have like 2 more days left. And we're still here. Oh my lord. We have 2 more event days in the game. Holy crap. And we're still on this one. She grabs me by the hand. Without waiting for me to reply, she drags me down the hall. She brings me to her room.
はい、お茶。外寒かったでしょ。
She's awkward about it, but she begins considerate. Honestly, the hot tea is comforting. Took me a good hour to walk home from the neighborhood town. I walked slowly, so I was cold to the bone.
で、綺麗のとこに行ってたの？
Damn, already knew. As usual, she doesn't beat around the bush. I get it. Tosuka must have known I was going to go there from the very beginning. But she didn't stop me. She waited for me to come home, and now she's even made tea. I feel like a new man now that my mind is made up. I appreciate Tosuka's thoughtfulness. Which is probably why I say,
行ってきた。聞きたいことがあったから。
I don't hide anything. I'm honest with her.
そっか。じゃあ何をしてきたかは聞かない。シロもそれでいいでしょ。
そうだな。それに、あんまり身のある話じゃなかった。ただ今の状況を確認しただけだったし。
そう。でも驚いたな。セイバーがまだサーバントになりきってないだなんて。最強のサーバントがその実一番半端なサーバントだったなんて。
Right.
悪い冗談じゃ
Now,
ない。
I don't know what kind of stat boost she gets if she were to become a heroic spirit, but... Yeah.
そうだな。セイバーはサーバントになんてならなければよかったんだ。
She nods in agreement.
意外ね。シロとアーチャー、もしかしたら気があったのかもしれないな。
No.
あいつもね、シロと同じこと言ってたから。
アーチャーって、あいつが？
そう。アーチャーも言ってたわ。自分は後悔してるから、セイバーにはそうなってほしくないって。
なんであいつがセイバーの心配をする？
Why would he worry about Saber? Excellent question.
セイバーを嫌ってたじゃないか。
そうなんだけどね。やっぱりさ、あいつってセイバーにゆかりの騎士だったんじゃないかな。初めてセイバーと戦った時、あいつ明らかに手を抜いてたでしょ。
そうなのか。けど、セイバーはアーチャーに見覚えはないようだったぞ。
そうなの？けど、セイバーは王様だったんでしょ。なら、国民をすべて把握していたわけでもないし、忘れてることだってあるんじゃない？
But he is a heroic spirit slash servant slash something else. You would have to think like he has to make some kind of impact on history, or those by this lore's information chosen from the world to become a hero, but a hero nonetheless is known. So
そういうこと言い出したらそれこそキリがない。顔を見て思い出せないようなやつならそれは知らないってことだと思う
Unless
けど。
he was a nobody before she died, and then after she died, he became a hero. That's possible.
そうでもないわよ。伝説だとさ、アーサー王の進化には運が悪くてキャメロットを追われた騎士も多いでしょ。
Mm-hmm.
あいつその一人だったのかもしれないわ。
Maybe, but Artoria is someone who strikes me as the person that would try to know all her knights.
あいつが正体を隠していたのは私にじゃなくてセイバーに対してだったって言うんなら割と納得がいくんだけど。
But nonetheless, this is true. Without them saying the information, this is true. Tosca unusually chatty tonight. Well, she's worried about you. It's probably of her way trying to be considerate. Maybe not particularly effective, but Tosca is a good person. She's usually pretty relentless, but she still lends a helping hand. She's got a kind of a big sister thing to her. Sure. We drink tea for a few more minutes. Tosca turns and looks straight at me. Guess she's run out of patience.
で、あなたはどうしたいの、シロ。
とりあえず明日はデートする。
Says it. Nice. I can't think of anything else. It just spurs of the moment idea that I came up with. But then, I don't know where the somber mood from earlier went, but Tosca makes the most bizarre face. Listen, man, we gotta get some of that good stuff going on before the final finale. She burst out into an uncontrollable laughter.
ちょっと待って。心の準備が。すごいってば。すっごいわがままぶりよ、シロ。
Damn, I'm so dumb. I should have seen this
う
coming.
るさい。わがままで悪いか。そんな場合じゃないって分かってるけど、絶対に邪魔はさせないからな。
違う。シロがおかしくて。
Yo, he's admitting his feelings. God damn. Tosca slaps my back hard. She holds her stomach with her own hand, laughing so hard she nearly is in tears. But to be fair, she's already, by this route, she's already guessed that Shiro loves Saber. And probably can guess vice versa, too. Just, it took them forever. I think this is the worst she can ever treat me.
心底笑ったわ。
そりゃよかったな。こっちは全然笑えなかったけど。
デート頑張んなさい。私あなたたちのこと好きよ。
Tosca says that kindly, doing a complete about face from a second ago.
おう、頑張る。
Honestly, that came out of left field. When she says it's like that, all I can do is nod. I go back to my room. Saber is still asleep, and the house is peaceful, as if there's nothing happening. Come on, end the day already. This is crazy. How much more content is there? It rained today, but what about tomorrow? I looked up at the clouds, slowly passing overhead. Unlike me as it is, I pray for a sunny day tomorrow. Fucking finally. Holy hell. To be fair, I was going on tangents, but that day took forever to complete. Alright, I'm going to go get a drink real quick, guys. And then I'm going to be back. So we are now on day 14. So there should be just this day and one more day left. I'm going to try my best to see how far we can get. Realistically, I would like to be done within an hour. This day is not going to be done within an hour. There's no way I'm going to be able to get this day done within an hour. Oh my God, no. Jesus, it's even longer than... Yeah, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try my best. Also, he trains again. Next thing I know, it's morning. Turn off the bell. Turn it off. I sigh, turn off my alarm clock. There we go. All right. I'm going to go get a drink. I'll be right back. Let me get some music ready for you guys. And then we're going to push through. We are just going to fucking push through the best that we can. But this is an even longer day. We have 2 days left. I'm trying to get this done realistically tomorrow. But if we do that, we're going to have to like start early again. And then we are also probably going to have to go for a very long stream. Probably. All right, All right, so let me go get a drink. I'll be right back. Hold on tight for just a couple minutes.
Once again I reach my head into a world repeating on end. Though it's dark, could my tears carve a path and lead me right to your heart. Like a rose that blooms and grows inside my chest, your name's all it knows. Is this fake? 'Cause every day I pray that right here by your side I can stay. I'll gather these fallen flowers, but I hope discarded and broken, and I'll join them where they can lead. Or wish together I'll set them free. Holding up the light within, there was no hesitation to give you a future is all I wanted. Hold me tight through these dark, careless nights, screaming till the morning light. We're broken down ideals, and one day they will heal. With every step they will form the future. I'll hold tightly to this special bond that we share. I'll follow you anywhere. Carried onward, bearing this miracle. Once again I hope I can regain the warmth I know that's ahead. And I pray these fake feelings will fade as the world starts to blur away. Even if I lose my grip and set this question free from my lips, I know I won't be surprised to hear that no answer will come to the light. This wish that was born from our tears, I know it will never waver, but we try to forge on ahead. The pain is something I won't forget. We know in a sadness, never thought I could feel this, but now I know what is pure happiness. Time stops still, taking your breath away, so rip from weakness and escape. I keep screaming out to you, but I may never reach you. Still I can picture the light in your eyes. Tell me what makes you feel so afraid that you try.
All right. We're back. Got my drink. So we can stay hydrated. I just need to see. I got a notification. Meloded Studio. Ooh. Stream smarter, create faster, and reach more viewers. Do you need some? What the? Okay. All right. Sure. I will see what that's all about. I mean, you do. You do. You do have that. All right. Oh, just some of these replies. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Time to lock in. Time to lock in. Back to the game. All right. So let me just make sure. Yep. All right. So this route, this day is going to be even longer than 13. Fuck. And that was a lot of content. That was a lot of content. How long was... Let me see. 14's like almost just as long as like 10, but maybe there could be a little bit less in there, but I doubt it. The longest day was day 9. Day 9 was like crazy long. That, and maybe 8 as well. Yeah, I guess 8, 9, and 7. Like those days stretched on forever, man. But okay. Let's go. We are going to get however far we can. Let's see. And then again, we're going to play tomorrow. I would like to get done tomorrow, but I also have to be realistic with my expectations. Hold on, let me see. Can I fix the camera for like 2 seconds? Like, I don't know why my camera is being very, very weird. We're doing a little bit of a... There we go. Like, there's the color, and then... Yeah, then it goes into green. Goes into like a green hue. I'm not entirely sure why. Why it's like doing such a green... Yeah, there it's focusing. It's focusing, okay. And then I keep it here for a moment. Yeah, all of a sudden it just gets into a green color. I have no idea why. It's so weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. All right, anyway. To the game. To the game. Speed. Here we go. I sigh and turn off the ringing alarm today. No matter what she says, Saber and I are going on a date. All right, bud. Roll those charisma scores, man. It's going to matter. It's going to have to matter then. My first priority will be to take her to plenty of places so she'll have a chance to enjoy herself. I've been trying to search my mind for the perfect spot for a date, but before I came up with anything, my alarm went off. I turned the alarm clock on just in case. As hard as I tried, I still couldn't think of anything last night. So I borrowed an alarm clock from Tosaka, figuring I might have pulled an all-nighter. Not that it's done any good. Yeah, that's kind of important to know. I sigh again. That's sort of problem. I'm nervous enough. Plus, I didn't sleep. But I think the worst part is how shocked I am. After staying up all night to think about it, I couldn't come up with a single thing a girl might like.
こうなったら出たとこ勝負だ。手当たり次第連れ回して、あいつに楽しみってやつを思い知らせてやる。
Sure. You know, you do have a girl here as well, you know, Rin. I'll just take her to cute shops. That's not Saber, though. Well, I feel like there's a fundamental flaw in that plan, but I've already made up my mind. There's nothing else I can think of, but what this all boils down to is that today is going to be a day packed with fun, and it'll be good. It'll be a go until Saber says she's had enough. Yo, is Sakura still doing her pact? Is she still doing her pact to stay away for like a week or whatever? She's still doing that? Shinji has not come home at all, so I feel like she'd be worried.
では、イリアスフィールはまだ目を覚ましていないのですか?
No, she is not. She is not awoken.
ええ、まだ眠ったままよ。あの様子なら目を覚ますのにもうしばらくかかりそうだけど、今日はそれが幸いしたわね。イリア、起きてればシローの後について回って邪魔してただろうし。
そうですね。今までのようにシローに同行されてはたまらない。昨夜はああなってしまいましたが、今日からは本気で残るマスターを探すのです。シローにはイリアスフィールに構っている余裕はありません。
Sure.
ああ、そっちの邪魔じゃないんだけど、まあいいか。私が言っても仕方ないし、これはシローとセイバーの問題だし。
Tozuka laughs mischievously.
は？私とシローの問題ですか?
We finished breakfast and it seems like a good time to leave. Saber is ready to look for masters, but I'm determined to execute my plan as well. I just need to be a man and
そ
tell
の
her.
ことだけどな、セイバー。今日は隣町に出るから、支度があるなら今のうちに済ませておいてくれ。
マスター探しですか? それでしたら隣町ではなく郊外の方が確実だと思いますが。
The suburbs.
そんなんじゃない。二人で遊びに行くんだから、郊外になんて行っても仕方がないだろう。
は?
Saber freezes. I try to ignore the sound of Tozuka trying and largely failing to control her laughter behind me. I will get her for that later, though.
シロー、それはどういう意味でしょうか? 遊びに行くとはシローとリンではなく、
No, not that route. This is your route.
俺が行くんだから、ついてくるのはセイバー以外いないだろう。登坂はうちでイリアの面倒を見てもらうから関係ない。
何をバカな。私とシローが隣町を探索したところで成果は薄い。そのようなことをしても意味がない。一体何をしようというのですか、あなたは。
Saber's pretty clearly frustrated. I kind of figured something like this would happen, but things are looking even bleaker than I had anticipated, since she clearly thinks we're going out to town to search for a master.
ここまで行ってもわからないんだな、セイバーは。要するに、俺はデートしようって言ってるんだけど、どうかな。
Rip the band-aid off. I ignore Tosuka's stare as I speak to Saber. I'm not sure how Saber will understand this.
そのような言い方ではわかりません。具体的な内容を提示してくれませんか、シロー。
I'm asking you as a man who is asking a strange spirit woman / non-gender thing, because apparently that doesn't matter, if they want to go out on a date. Not if. That you will go out on a date, I guess, technically speaking, from Shiro's perspective. That's what's happening here. That's what's happening. He looks even more irritated. And suddenly, it's like a switch flipped in my head. There's no sense in beating around the bush here. It'd be best if I were just to be blunt with her.
シロ、街に出るというのなら従いますが、デートをしようとはどういうことなのか説明してください。
The purpose of a date. Oh.
いくらこの時代に慣れていると言っても、
I don't think there is a
私にも知ら
clear
ない
answer
単語
to
はあり
that.
ます。あまり専門的な略語は使わないでほしい。
No matter how familiar I am with this age, there are terms I still don't know. Please do not use technical terms for without explaining them. Rand in the background's like, oh, you poor girl.
別に専門的な単語じゃないぞ。知らないなら教えてやるけど、デートってのは女の子と遊びに行くって意味だ。
It's crazy. Fate Zero. She rides a motorcycle. Oh yeah, I know how to ride a motorcycle. Here, doesn't understand the lingo of what the fuck a word is for date. Okay.
は？
I can teach you if you don't know, but a date is when someone goes out and has fun with a girl. Not always. 2025, good, Sir Shiro. Excuse me? But yes, in this particular instance, yes. Saber goes completely still.
女の子とは私のことを言っているのでしょうか？
That would be you in this present time. She's dazed now, mothering. When I nod yes, Saber looks even more confused.
言葉の意味は分かりましたが、意図が全く分かりません。そんなことをする理由は何ですか？
Because he has feelings. But again, you gotta have to be blunt with her. That's just who Saber is. I wasn't expecting that question. I mean, I know the point of a date is, but now I'm on the spot and Saber wants to be explained to her face.
ああ、もうそんならしくない単語を使うから勘違いさせるのよ。デートなんて言わずに、もっとわかりやすい言葉で説明すればいいの
Drop
に。
the word date and use a term easier? What the fuck would that be?
いいセイバー。デートってのはね、要するに合いびきのことなの。
The hell is that? Triest? Triest? What? That's in... What are you talking about?
シロは遊びに行くって言うけど、つまるところ男の子が好きな女の子にアピールするチャンスってわけ。
Just say courting. I don't know what this word is, triest, but you could just say then he's trying to court you. Like, what the heck is this? Triest? Triest. I'll have to look that up later. What the fuck? That's what got her? That's what got... Alright, whatever. I cough loud. Tosca may be right. I'm pretty confident that a date and a triest are two very different things. Alright, hold on. No, I'm doing it now then. I want progress. But I need explanation. What the fuck's a triest? Give me a definition here. It's probably like courtship.
Tryst.
A tryst.
Tryst.
A private romantic rendezvous between lovers. Look at that. Is this some Shakespearean shit? It probably is. Keep a private romantic rendezvous. What a word. What a word. Alright, we're back. OBS. OBS fucking crashed. Oh my god. Of course, as I'm trying to have Google help me. Of course, as I'm trying to have Google, it's like, actually, no. What if your game just, crashed? And no, not the game. My OBS Studios fucking crashes. Oh, it's like playing a roulette game with it. All right, so now we figured out what tryst means. All right, let's move on. Let me not get cocky and think OBS can handle this. Totally may be right, but I'm pretty confident that a date and a tryst are two different things. Technically speaking, it's a little bit more upfront. I guess for the modern way of things, date is more like playing the field and you don't really know, while tryst are like, hey, I want to have romantic relations with you. And you take it from there. You take it from there. That's a good picture. What the fuck? Okay. But I don't think it's worth mentioning. From her reaction, it looks like Saber finally understands what a date is.
今日一日は戦わないで町に行く。そもそも昼間は人目につくから戦えないだろう。ならどう過ごしてもいいはずだ。
Consider this prep. Let's do that. So there should be no problem with us spending the day however we want.
それはそうですが、しかしあまりに意味がありません。そのようなことをしても、シロには何ら得るものがないのではありません。
You say that, and to Shiro, he will gain everything that he needs from this.
そんなことはないけど、別にそうでも構わないぞ。今日はセイバーのために使うって決めたんだから、俺のことは気にするな。とにかく今日は絶対に町に行く。こればっかりは何を言われても変えないからな、セイバー。
I look her straight in the eyes. Saber ponders for a while, looking serious.
では、私が反対した場合でも、シロは一人で町に出ると。
ああ、絶対に行く。そうでなきゃ、一晩考え抜いたのがバカみたいだ。
Yes.
それでは、私が付き添わないわけにはいきません。サーバントとして、マスターを一人にすることはできない
There you go. Whatever gets you to come. Like that. And also to come along the journey. After taking a breath, Saber answers in her usual manner. Okay, that could have gone better, but at least I managed to convince her to come out. I shouldn't sweat the small stuff at this point. Yep, you know what you're getting into.
いってらっしゃい。お土産よろしくね。
As we stepped outside, I made a rude gesture at Tosca since she made fun of me until the very end.
それで、具体的にはこれからどうするのですか、シロ。
Excellent question.
どうするって、とりあえず隣町に出る。交差点からバスが出てるからそれに乗っていこう。
The LA path is unusually quiet. It's a little past 9 in the morning on a weekday. The town is starting to come alive, but it must be a little earlier to be heading out somewhere. There's no one on the road. It's like we have the road to ourselves.
学校休むのに抵抗がなくなってるな。ここのところずっと家にこもってたし。
当然でしょう。シロはマスターなのですから。おいそれと出歩く方がおかしいのです。
Honestly, good advice. Saber's tone is sharp. Saber following me behind is nothing new, but it feels different today. I feel like this immense pressure directed at me. That's putting it mildly. I can tell Saber's going to be tough to handle. But that's why you like her, right? We get on the bus. It would have been stuffed with people about an hour ago, but there's only a handful of people using it. The only people on the bus are old women with children, so it feels like we have the place to ourselves. Different setting. I call out Saber for some reason tries to sit at the front of the bus and lead her to the wider seats at the back. Pretty. And I do mean her. Saber quietly looks out over the passing scenery. I steal a glance at her and realizing how crazy I am for what I'm trying to do today. Taking the bus to a nearby town is an ordinary thing for me, but here, in this ordinary place, something extraordinary is happening. Look at you, man. Look at you. This Shiro's getting down to business, man. He's getting down. Or, well, I find myself questioning whether I'm actually doing the whole date thing. My mind starts spinning and swirling like some complex cube puzzle. I mean, again, technically, you're not doing a date. You're, by Rin's definition, doing a tryst. Crap. Really getting nervous. It's kind of getting out of control. There you go, man. There's the prize. There's the prize. Don't fumble. My heart skips a beat. I hardly recognize Saber as she sits next to me. Or, well, it's at least that I don't recognize her, then it is the situation itself that is unrecognizable. It makes me realize that she is something else. She is different. I didn't realize it when we were at home. This ordinary, everyday life seems to me like it's become something entirely new. Different just because Saber is here. Her golden blonde hair, her green eyes, those alone are enough to make her overwhelmingly beautiful. Yeah, they've emphasized in this route, yes, Saber is beautiful. By all standards of the word and normality, she is considered in this universe beautiful. It hadn't really crossed my mind since I've never had much to compare her to. I mean, you had Taiga, you had Rin, you had goddamn Sakura, you had, other women that you have had at your school. It's like, you had stuff to compare. You had Ryder. It's like, I remember the first time I met Saber. I must have been avoiding her because I was too embarrassed to admit that I was admiring her. No matter what Saber says to me, she is a girl before a swordsman. Yo, some people would take that the wrong way nowadays. Some people would take that the wrong way nowadays. Yo, be careful, Shiro. Be careful. In fact, let me... Oh, I'm being so devious with this, but I'm gonna save that. Yo, people would definitely get triggered by that. No matter what Saber says to me, she is a girl before a swordsman. I assume in the most purest sense of, like, he's just admitting his feelings that are deeper than respect for her skill. I don't know how to react to her, and I don't understand how her feelings are. I have to admit, I know I sound stupid. Well, that's good. I've developed trust and affection for Saber, past the point of no return. And now I've decided to go on a date with her. The order of events is all backward. Now, as I get off the bus, I finally realize what a big deal it is to go on a date with a girl I like. Yeah. But that's okay. I can only give it my all, so I can't very well take it all back and cower in fear. I calm myself, try to shake off my ridiculous apprehension. The bus crosses the bridge and drives towards the development area and its masses of tall buildings. I breathe out, almost whistling, and ready myself. The familiar bus announcement tells us that we have arrived in Shinto Station. This is a good, depiction of a first date. Like, the psychological mindset that someone goes through. That's very good. It looks like the same area. What changed? It's only 9 in the morning, but the area around the station is already busy. Most of the shops don't open until around 10 o'clock, but cafes and smaller bookstores are starting to open up. There are already more people here than you would expect in Miyama, even if it was a weekend. We get off the bus and Saber looks around the area displeased. I don't blame her. She hasn't really agreed to this whole date thing, and everyone is starting to stare at her now. I mean, again, if in this universe how much they're trying to sell it, she is that attractive. or beautiful. I doubt she loves it.
焦ったな。考えてみれば、朝からセイバーを連れてくれば当然こうなる。
Should have gone to like a secluded place, man. Like a park or whatever, like a real park. Well, oh my god. But this discomfort is beyond to follow us around the entire day. The only cure for this I can think of is Saber enjoying herself, so much so that she forgets all the awkwardness. All right, then you're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to work for it. I smack my fist into my hand and look over to Saber.
はじめに聞いておくけど、どこか行ってみたいところはあるか。せっかく来たんだから、今日ぐらいは好きなことをしてもいいだろう。
Be careful, she'll say go hunt for masters.
さあ、別にこれといって興味のある場所はありませんから。そもそも私にそのような選択をする知識はありません。
本当か？そりゃ参ったな。じゃあ本当にここからは出たとこ勝負なわけか。セイバーに行きたいところがなくて、こっちもどこに行っていいかわからないんじゃん。前途多難だ。
まさかとは思うのですが、何の計画も立てていないのですか?
You should have had came with some kind of plan, like some basic itinerary, like, hey, it's 9 in the morning. Why don't we go get breakfast? And then we can make our way down, let's say, to the... I'm sure there's like a strip mall kind of place that you can like see shops, vendors, all that kind of thing. See if anything catches her, mind or interest. Then from there, maybe like, hey, let's go to a park and enjoy the nature because it's probably getting close to around lunchtime. And then when it's lunchtime, go get something else to eat. And then after that, why don't you go to something artsy or whatever that's like a nearby art walk area. I don't know, like something like that. Just like have a natural progression. So it's not like you have anything specific, but that way that you can also just cruise your way through something interesting and whatnot.
いや、少しはあるけど、中身はガラガラ。とりあえず手当たり次第に店をはしごしよう。
That's kind of hard to do. I know some stores I enjoyed, but I have no idea what girls like, and Saber is a different kind of girl. Honestly, I don't know this would have happened to me someday. It had been smart to go out with a girl from class at least once. True.
まったく反論するわけではありませんが、シロはどうかしています。休憩を取ろうという考えはまだいい。ですが、その休憩すら明確な予定を立てていないとは何事
She's like, you dragged me out here and you don't even have a plan. Nope. That is Guy, though. That is Guy. Again, you should have asked Ren to, like, give you an idea. Like, hey, what would you like to do? Ah, crap. Now Saber's lecturing mood. This is the first time she's ever given me such an earful outside the dojo. She wasn't into this from the start. I figured that all the people staring at her wouldn't help, and I didn't realize it'd be this bad.
かねてからあなたの見積もりの甘さには一言したかったのです。あなたは周りのことは目に入っているくせに、どうも自身に対する扱いが存在です。
You're one to talk, Saber.
結果、齟齬を埋めるためにあなた自身が対価を払わなくてはならなと聞いているのですか、シロ。
You know what, man? Here's what you gotta do. Just take her hand and start walking. Grab her hand and just start walking. That's all you gotta do, man. Make her flustered and just start walking to like some nice shops or whatever.
聞いてるよ。今でいるなと、セイバー。
There we go. I am. Bottom line is that you don't understand why you're here. Right, Saber?
俺に連れ回されてもつまらないのは目に見えてるし、嫌がるのは当然だろうけど。
いえ、そういうことではなく、私は今はこのようなことをしている場合ではないと。
She doesn't know why she's not here, especially after Rin's explanation. Just that she has other priorities. うん。
それも分かってる。けど聞かない。俺は今日一日セイバーに付き合ってもらうって決めたんだ。
うん。うん。
こればっかりはなんて言われようと曲げない。絶対だ。
I look straight to Saber. The only thing Saber can do is look back at me in shock.
言いたいことがあるなら聞く。文句もあるだろうし、そういうのは今のうちに言っておいてくれ。その方がお互い気兼ねしなくて済む。セイバーが俺とデートするのが嫌だって言うんなら、別の方法だって考える。
いえ、何もそこまでする必要はないと言いますか。
There you go. She's not saying she doesn't want to go on a date with you. It's just other things, yes. It's odd seeing Saber at a loss for words.
文句はないんだな。じゃ、行くぞ。
Come on.
セイバーにリクエストがないんだから、どこ行ったって怒るなよ。
True. I guess that means Shiro can take you to anywhere he wants. All right, grab her hand. Grab her hand. Maybe we should start going to the aquarium. Classic. I hear those are popular. That sounds good. Look at that. Look at that. Good job, Shiro.
シロ、文句はありませんが、何も手をつかむ必要
Oh, trust me, it's necessary. It's necessary.
いや、時間ももったいないし、少し走るからな。案内するから、はぐれないようについてこい。
You don't know where you're going. Practical reasons, but then other reasons.
いえ、こんな状態では、
No, we're doing this. I started running without waiting for Saber's reply. I've been pretty clear with Saber, so no more being pathetic in front of her. For now, I just need to escort her to every place I can think of. Saber's hand in mine, I run through the crowd. Apparently, Saber given up resistance, and she's just following obediently. It's a little bit more before 10 o'clock. We have about 2 hours until lunch, so I'm going to make the most of that and really knock Saber's socks off. Those 2 hours were like a storm. First, we tried a bouquet I normally never go to. Then we tried our hand at bowling while I taught her the rules. Did you go to the aquarium? There you go. Aw, man. I couldn't find the aquarium, but we fed birds at the park. That's kind of cute. We visited an interesting antique shop that ended up being a lot of fun, and I maintained that not going to the movie theater was the right choice. What? All right. I guess for other girls, I would say that's the wrong choice. For someone like Saber, fair enough. Take it to more older stuff, I guess that would make sense. Anyway, I spent the whole time talking, taking her places I figured a girl might like. And it was just about 2 hours of failure and defeat. However I tried to spin it, the day wasn't really shaping up to be a date. It felt more like a battle to the death in which the first person to give up loses. Honestly, that might just be the perfect definition of a date. Yo, it's more like a fight to the death in which the first person gives up loses. No, that's about right. I might save that too. To be honest. Hold on. Where'd my snip tool go? No. Come back. Here we go. Hold on. I gotta make myself invisible real quick. Real quick. There we go. And then... yeah. Nope, didn't load. There we go. All right. Perfect. Now we're back. All right. Now I got that. Whenever I took Saber, she acted exactly like she has always done. Once in a while, she would fall so quiet, I would start to worry if she was really angry. Oh, buddy. Her lack of reaction made it very clear she was not having fun, which pushed me to try even harder. Well, we know she likes lions. If there was a zoo, I would say take her there. And so I ran all around the city, so desperate to make Saber smile, but noon came before I actually accomplished anything. And with Saber's reminder that it's lunchtime, I decided to take a short break, however. Yo, if you have a phone, I would say text Rin, but I don't think you have a phone. Yeah, what the fuck is this place? What is this super traditional cafe? Maybe she might like this. I can't help but blurt it out as we sit down. Okay. That was the only advice Hosuke gave me last night. So I did as she suggested and picked the restaurant, but I never imagined it would be so pretentious. I took a look at the menu. Luckily, the menu is Japanese traditional translations next to all of its foreign text, so I can at least figure out what all the dishes are. The problem is I've never ever heard of any of these dishes, and the prices are outrageous. Oh, so it's a restaurant. It's a restaurant, not a cafe. Did she call it a cafe? Wait, this is considered a coffee shop? Whoa. No, this is a restaurant. If there's a fancy menu with exotic food and the prices are outrageous, nah, man, that's a restaurant. That's no longer a cafe. No. We changed the game. We've changed the game now. This is not a cafe date. This is a restaurant date. Where are we, Mars? I have no idea what to order. I stare at the menu and growl. If they had iPhones at this time, you could take a picture and search. Exactly the point, Saber. Yo, you better hurry up and get her food. Saber looks and sounds a little concerned. You really, honestly, again, you really should have prepped with Rin more. I look up, and what I see? Saber looking a concerned rabbit. As sweet as that is, this was supposed to be something romantic, so just gotta try. Filled with anxiety. And also hungry. So let's feed her. Feed the Saber. Fortunately, I am the only one who hears that faint squeak from her stomach. She could have just told me she was hungry. Right, alright. Come on, figure something out. Do they have pictures? How fancy is it? Do they have pictures? It should be easy if a light snack is all we need. I ordered 2 things that seem like lunch dishes, and we quickly eat. Please be good. While I'm drinking my after meal coffee, I start thinking about what to do in the afternoon. What I learned this morning is that physical stuff like bowling is no good. Saber is extremely competitive. That in of itself is good, but Saber looks already drawn enough attention, and when she gets like that, well, she stands out even more. After we finished the game, Saber got sulky because of all the attention she drew. Go private. Go private. Again, probably not karaoke. I doubt she would want to sing.
なあ、セイバー。2度目になるけど、どこか行きたいところってあるか？
私にですか？いえ、特にはありません。私ではわかりませんから。
Again, maybe just take her to a park. Take her to like a nice open park. Enjoy the breeze, or like somewhere by the riverside, and just sit next to each other. Enjoy the moment. Saber lifts her teacup as she speaks. She ordered black tea to have after her meal. It seems she enjoys the flavor. I hardly serve black tea at home, and even if I did, it'd just be cheap tea. Saber must not have been satisfied with the drinks I've been serving at home, since it looks like she prefers this black tea. Well, I should be more mindful about that starting tomorrow. That's if you get the chance to. Well, it may not be a complete smile, but she looks at peace. Saber isn't doing much. She's just drinking her tea. She doesn't seem particularly happy, but she doesn't exactly look bored either. I guess she's just being Saber. As sunlight pours in through the windows, Saber sits up straight, gracefully sipping her teacup. It's the first time I've seen her do this. It seems so natural, like I've seen it a million times before. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but Saber, at least the one I know, is always serious and always focused on wielding her sword on fighting. Oh, I get it. It's only natural. I only think of her as the girl who took up a sword. The moment she sets her sword aside, Saber is always calming and gentle. This scene doesn't feel new or unnatural to me because it's just her being who she is. No matter how skilled a swordsman she may be, this is Saber just being normal. The side that her kingdom never got to saw. Or, wielding her sword isn't what makes her exceptional. I once thought that while I was dreaming that she was suited for fighting, I don't think I'm wrong there. No matter how great her sword skills are, no matter how many battlefields she's been on, as long as she really is herself, she couldn't have found the battlefield a comfortable place. That's why this is how it's supposed to be. Saber's not wielding a sword. She's not resting and unwinding. She belongs in this serene setting. Oh my god, fucking Flash! Whew. Lord. Let me see. How far are we? Oh, we barely made a dent. Oh, Jesus. We barely made a dent. Nothing changes in the afternoon. I take her to every shop I can think of, and Saber follows quietly. At least it's not awkward as earlier in the morning. Either I'm getting used to the situation, or Saber's giving up. She's still quiet, but the more I watched her, the more I noticed she looks either angry or not angry. which is really confusing. Sounds like it. Whenever I see Saber coming out of a store looking excited, I feel the sense of accomplishment. It really makes me happy. Then, after a certain consideration of what Saber might like, here we go. I'm not certain, but this is the shop most likely to please Saber. If they have lions, you're in. Excuse me. Saber stands in front of the store, mouth agape. I'm not sure if she's shoulders are trembling because she's angry or excited. I just can't tell. Yeah, we're in a good place. Wait, what? I hear this is the biggest stuffed animal shop in town. I've never been here since men aren't allowed. I don't think you can legally do that. Like, outside of, like, women's restrooms. Yeah, I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can do that. Obviously, it's not that men are allowed in the store. Okay, I was about to say, like, brother, what? Obviously, it's not that men are allowed in the store. It's just that most of the customers' bases are, well, girls. So there's an unspoken rule about men not going in here. Fuck you. What if they, like, you know, not just stuffed animals. What if they got, like, plushies and stuff? What if they got Kirby in here? If they got Kirby. If they got my boy Kirby in here, I'm coming in. Like, hey, ladies, what's going on? Where's Kerbo? Where's my Pollo? Besides, there are only girls in the store right now. Saber, with her beautiful blonde hair, is drawing attention, while I'm drawing the glares for being a guy. Yeah, your situation's not very great. They must be all trying to keep me out of their sanctuary. I'm not trying to cause a disturbance. I'm trying to just find me a Kirby plushie, all right? Don't come at me. I can't agree more. Even I don't think guys should be in a store like this. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. This is some hateful language right here. Again, what if they got Kirby? What if they have Pokemon plushies? What if they have anime plushies? Fuck you. Lion. Yeah, exactly. Lions. Oh, leopards too. Yeah. Buddy, why'd you laugh? I find myself turning away and fighting not to laugh. Bud. Not sure why Saber likes lions is strange. Lion heart. I never said that. I never said that. Again, if there was a zoo around here, I would have said take her there and maybe they have lions. I try to fight down my own laughter and walk into the store. Let's see. Looks like the animal stuffed toys are over there. It takes about an hour to get from one end of the store to another. What the? Probably because of Saber, obviously. There's no way that would be the case. I watch in silence as Saber stares at all the stuffed animals while I worried about the dozens or so sets of prying eyes staring at me from around the store. I've never been so exhausted in my life. Yo, fuck these other women. Yo, assume that we're on a date, which we are, and I'm trying to take my girl, in Shiro's case, my girl, to go get some stuffed animals. Fuck you. I'm here to help her and enjoy myself. And again, if this was modern times, if there's Kirby, Pokemon, anime plushies here, hey, women, what's going on? I'll be coming in. Coming in hot. The terrifying thing is that we've only made it through half of the store. Fuck. Saber frequently is paralyzed. That is, she often stops and stares at stuffed animals. Even after all this time, we only are halfway through the store. This reminds me of when... of me being younger in Toys R Us. Yep. Saber seems very interested in the other half of the store, so I guess I'll just hang around while she does what she wants to do here.
Shiro, どうしたのです？ため息をついて。歩き通して疲れてしまったとか。
Nah.
あ
Oh, well.
ちょっと疲れた。こんな程度で値を上げるほどやわじゃないんだけどな。ここは特別だ。やっぱり慣れないことはするもんじゃないのか。
I heave a sigh. I don't mind people staring at us when we're just walking around, but I'm uncomfortable with it when we're in this girly shop. When you're mentally drained, the first part of your body that feels it is your legs.
そういうセイバーは大丈夫か？こういう店初めてだろ？疲れたんなら言ってくれ。
確かに私も落ち着きませんが、シロの方が居心地が悪そうです。ここだけではなく、先ほどの店もその前の店でもそうでした。まさかとは思うのですが、シロは自分で行きたくない場所を選んでいるのではないですか？
I guess that is fair. On a date, you don't want to just do one person's completed, favor. You want to do something that you both can enjoy. Or like, hey, we're going to go here and then maybe something here that I might like, interests. And suddenly those words dispel all the worries and mental exhaustions I felt earlier.
正直に言えば、あえて苦手なところを選んでるけど。
やはりどうかしていますシロ。慣れないと分かっていて、なぜこのような場所ばかり選ぶのです。
いや、だって女の子にはこういう場所のが似合うだろう。遊びに行こうって連れ出したのは俺なんだから。今日はセイバーの日なわけだし。
There we go. There we go.
それに、そう居心地悪くないぞ。セイバーがいるから大丈夫。
Hey!
いるんだから、妬まれることはあれ、場違いだって思われることもないし。
I'm with a beautiful girl, so I don't look completely out of place. All the stares are directed at me aside. Nice. Very nice. Smooth. I hope he says that to her.
何をバカな。武装していなくても私はサーバントです。いかに非戦闘時だからといって私を女性扱いする必要はありません。普段通りサーバントとして扱ってください。
He may not be needed to, but that's what his heart says, Saber. That's what his heart says.
バカはそっちだ。普段通りも何もセイバーは初めから女の子じゃないか。別に今日だけ気を使ってるわけじゃないし。今日の俺って。
She is bewildered. Saber's mouth hangs open as if she's only had now just realized this.
いえ、同じです。あなたはいつも通りのシロでした。
This is Shiro.
だろ？だから俺に気を使う必要なんてないぞ。ほら、それじゃ行こう。一番気に入ったものを買うんだから、あと半分も見ないとダメだろ。
I take Saber's hand again. She offers no objections as I tug her along. Oh, she's becoming more familiar and okay with this.
そうでした。初めからそうだったのに、今になって気がつくなんて。
She murmurs to herself, sounding dazed. Ominous. The uncomfortable day passes in a flurry. Saber never laughs, not once during the whole day, so neither do I do. No part of the day was particularly memorable, but neither was there any painfully boring aspects. So it's a first date. It's a first date. Again, not the best first date, but not the worst first date. Basically, nothing significant happened. The way it went, maybe Saber would have been happy if we stayed in the dojo and trained together. That's also another perspective, too. Everyone thinks that you need to do for a first date is the big fancy dinner or whatever. It's like, no, it could be simple. It can literally just be, hey, let's go get some pizza and go hang out in the park. Or, depending on who you talk to, it may just be, hey, you want to come over and play video games. It all depends, man. It all depends. Even if it didn't end up being all that exciting, I should be proud that at least I managed to take Saber around. After the war is over and once everything goes back to normal, ... I don't want to look back on all this and realize that all the time I spent with Saber was in combat. I guess that's fair. Even if the entire date was stupid, she needs to spend some time doing something other than fighting, or there's no point in her being here. So yeah, I should be proud of myself. The end is near. Oh. I have a funny feeling you are not just talking about your date, good sir. Brother. Oh my god. 14's gonna be a fucking slog. Oh boy. When everything is done, when there's no need to fight anymore, if Saber can look back at this moment, that will be enough for me. We walk back home just as we were trying to get on the bus. Well, walk home? How far is it? Saber finally voices a preference. Fair. If she wants that. The winds are picking up. The brilliant sunset faints the bridge red. Saber notices something, stops and looks over the bridge into the river. She is looking at a mountain of rubble. I say it's a mountain, but it's just a pile that really isn't that high. Steel frames and other things are piled up just a little below the water level, and it's only slightly disturbing the flow of the river. I don't know what happened, but some boat probably sank. Then pieces of it drifted here. I hear some of the neighboring residents have been complaining, trying to get rid of the pile since it's unsightly. Wait, against the caster? Wait a minute. Are you referring to when he summoned his crazy starfish Cthulhu thing? Hang on. A boat? A boat. 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 It's got to be against caster. Yeah, it's got to be. It must be. It's Gilgamesh's stupid goddamn flying ship thing. So she's taking a trip down memory lane. Crazy. Let me see. But yeah, wait, no, in the anime she's just running on the water. Alright, I don't know what she's referring to be honest. I don't remember. We might have to rewatch Fate Zero. Interesting. Okay. Huh. She's remembering something from the gosh dang time she was summoned beforehand. Is there a... I'm curious. I don't know why I'm looking this up now, but I might as well. Is there a Fate Zero visual novel? I assume not. Is there a Fate visual novel? Ooh. Let me not glitch anything too out. Oh, fuck. Alright, well, that was not what I tried to do. And I also want to make sure I don't glitch out OBS. Is there a Fate visual novel? It's a light novel. I haven't personally read it, but I've gathered it's worth a read. No, it was released as a light novel in 4 volumes. It's definitely worth a read. If you're a fan of the anime, just Google Fate. Fate Zero PDF should be a... Oh, wow. Okay. I'll look that up later then. That's neat. Hold on. I might have glitched. Oh, shit. Hold on. Let me see if I can... Let me see... There we go. All right, I got chat. I got chat back. All right. As long as everything seems to be okay. All right. We're back again. All right. So let me not do anything else. Let me let me not do anything else because I think I'm overloading the goddamn amount of stuff I can open up with OBS. And it's like, bruh, you're killing me. You're killing me. You're killing me right now. I'm sorry, OBS. That was not my intentions. That was not my intentions to do that. 1,000 apologies. I think if I have too many, like, things open, my goddamn OBS is like, please, have mercy. I'm like, all right. All right. All right. I am not going to waste too much time there. All right, let's go. Let's go before it glitches again. There was nothing that's there. Okay, yeah. So, some point of the fighting, I forget. But that's where I had to use my Noble Phantasm, so it must be against Caster. Hmm. Yep, Excalibur.
そうなのですが、幸い乗客はいませんでしたし、被害も大きくなかったんです。川だって今では元通りですし、そう起こらなくてもいいではありませんか。
Right.
私だってその反省しているのですから。
Okay. I should be more careful. When we use Excalibur, I need to be mindful that it's used somewhere there's a lot of open space, like out here, right? Or on that rooftop. About what? Yeah, true. If you have someone who can remember, you can tell where the previous war is.
まあ、船の持ち主は災難だったとは思うが。
それはご安心を。船の持ち主には保険が下りたと桐次が言っていましたし、もともと干渉剤にするつもりで船を止めさせたのですから。船体を壁に見立てて、砲具の威力を削いだのですね。
Sure. Sure.
なんだ。じゃあ初めから承知で船を壊したってことか。
承知していたわけではありません。あれは桐次が私に黙って用意していたものです。そうですね。桐次には戦いの流れが読めていたのでしょう。船を用意する前もその後も一言も口にしなかったので気がつきませんでしたが。
And then Saber looks down at the river, probably thinking about it a little earlier. Holy Grail War, the surface of the water glitters with a reflected light. The wind coming from the river flutters Saber's hair. She is so beautiful.
セイバー、今日は楽しかったか？
I'm suddenly scared Saber's going to disappear, so I ask a question probably better not to voice. Hey.
何か言いましたか、シロ？
言った。今日は楽しかったか聞いた。
I hold my breath. Saber looks confused. It's a beautiful shot.
そうですね。新鮮でないと言えば嘘になります。
She says it fondly, like she knows she'll never have another day like this. Win or lose, Saber will never have a day like this. Which is why I already knew her answer. The only thing left for me to do is nod in agreement and then walk her home. At least things can still go back to normal if I leave it at that.
そうか。
I look at Saber and I nod.
また行こう。こんなの別に今回限りってわけじゃないんだから。
Will you, though? Will you? Nope. Nope. Saber expressions hardens. I think she realizes what I'm trying to say. She looks directly at me and silently shakes her head. There will not be a second time. This happened today, and that's where it will stay.
それはなぜ？
I know exactly what Saber's going to say. I know I won't be satisfied with her answer. But I'm going to ask it
なぜ
anyway.
も何もない。サーバントは戦うために存在するものです。今日のような行為は自らの存在を否定することになる。シローが休憩すべきだと判断したから従いましたが、もうこの先は体を休める必要はないでしょう。残る敵は少ない。シローが命じるなら今すぐにでもランサーを探し出したいほどですが。
She focuses on me, eyes blazing with her fighting spirit. Saber is saying that she can head out into battle anytime if she is ordered. And that really sets off my
なんだ
anger.
よそれ。そんなに戦いたいのか、お前は。
She's eager for what she wants, man.
当然でしょ
But,
う。
you know,
戦えば戦うほど聖杯に近づくのです。私にとって戦闘は何よりも優先すべきことです。
ああ、わかってる。だからおかしいんだ。前から言いたかったんだけどな。矛盾してるぞ、お前。セイバーは戦いが大事だって言う割に、自分から戦いたいなんて思ってないだろう。他に手段がないから、いやいや戦ってるに過ぎないんじゃないのか。
そんなことはありません。私は戦闘をためらわない。
when thrust into it, but that's not your first instinct. That isn't the instinct that you go with. What needs to be done is something different.
勝利するためならば手段は選ばないと言ったでしょう。
Yeah, she said that. That doesn't mean she likes
で
fighting.
きる範囲でだろ。いいか、セイバー。単純に他のマスターを倒して聖杯を手に入れるって言うならさ、ライダーみたいに人を襲って力を得ればいい。だけど、セイバーはそれが嫌なんだろう。
それは
無関係な人間を巻き込みたくないんじゃない。いざ戦いになれば、人は死ぬものだと。お前、そう。だからこそお前は、戦闘を最小限に抑えたがっていた。戦えば死者は出る。だから、早く終わらせたいって。つまりさ、お前は犠牲者が出る戦いってやつが、たまらなく怖いんだ。
Especially now, more than ever, after reading Shiro's mind. Saber's eyes grow wide, like she's seen a ghost, but quickly narrow. She grits her teeth.
違います。私は戦いを怖がってなどいません。
そうだな。確かにお前は初めから怖がってなんていなかったと思う。そんな個人の恐怖なんて王の使命とやらで塗りつぶされていたんだろうから。
Ridiculous as it may sound, it's true.
だけど、それでもお前は戦いを嫌ってる。お前は単に強くて戦いが上手かっただけだ。はっきり言うぞ。お前は戦いになんて向いていない。本当は剣を取ることさえ嫌だったはずだ。
Woo! That's a big jump now then in your argument there, Shiro.
戦うことだけが目的だっていうのは、お前自身がお前をごまかすための言い分に過ぎない。
On top of that, why didn't anyone around her, even herself, figure it out and just say something? Hello, Ahmed. How's it going?
シロ、いくらあなたでもそれ以上の侮辱は許しません。
図星だから我慢できないんだろ。認めたら戦えなくなるからな。
I hear a grinding sound. Ooh, she's angry. Saber is glaring at me, trying to hold back her anger. I can't back down now. Ooh, let her have it. I know I'm right. I can't back down.
やめろよ。お前だってやめたがってるんだろ。剣なんて自分に向いてないって分かってるんだろ。なら、やめてしまえばいい。
I think this is an anime story, apparently the game. Well, it's it's based off in a Aroga manga back in the day. That was also a game. And then it became a visual novel. And then it got an anime. And then it got more animes and movies. And then it got more side video games and other stuff. And technically, this is the author's second entry to his work, where he's done a previous thing. But technically speaking, yes, you are. This is a anime story visual novel game. It's a lot. It's a lot.
サーバントなんてやめて、もっと自分に向いたことをしろ。
And do something that best suits you. Now, the question is, Shiro, if you say that to her, what would that be? It's not too late for her to try and find whatever real human happiness she's always wanted. And for that, I would.
私に戦う以外の選択肢などありません。この私は聖杯を手に入れるためだけのものです。
That's what you've told yourself.
王の誓いを守るためにこの身を差し出した。それ以外の自分の使い道など私には許されない。
And what if your vow as king said that to make your people the most happiest, you would let them be at peace? She just had an objective seeking the obtaining the Holy Grail. That's what ticked me off the most. What does she talk like she's only trying to convince herself? Everyone around her at her word because she kept insisting on something like this.
そんなことあるか。道なんていくらでもある。お前はここにいるんだ。昔のお前とは違う。なら、これからは自分のために生きなきゃダメだ。間違っても聖杯を。
What I say next is what I hope for the most.
他人のためなんかには使うな。ここにいるなら、セイバーはここで幸せにならなきゃダメだ。
That is easier said than done for her. So it depends on which anime you just watched, but there is the original Erogo game visual novel, which is what this is based off of, but it's a lot more censored. Not a lot of XXX being done. And then it became a true blue visual novel that you can read through. There's actually a link to it. This is the remastered version of this. This came out, I think, like a year ago. Has 3 routes. And then those 3 routes became animated. The route that I'm doing right now is technically considered the first route. I consider it the best route. It has an anime that came out like in 2000s. Not that very good. The other 2 routes are more widely known and are hyped up more. There is Unlimited Blade Work, and then there's Heaven's Field. The Heaven's Field has 3 anime movies. And then there is a prequel to this entire storyline called Fate Zero. So I don't know which one you watched, but that's what I'm doing right now. Where I am playing the original storylines, but the first route. My ears perk up with the sound of the wind. Saber doesn't answer. She doesn't nod. She only looks straight into my eyes. Oh, man. Saber speaks slowly and clearly. And you did, though. You did. You just have to know when your duty ends, and you are a person. I will never go back to being Altaria. But in the end, it's not necessarily always about being rewarded, but she should have some kind of satisfactory existence. Besides, Saber's wish won't come true. What already happened cannot be changed. You all know that. Or at least you shouldn't. It's what Iskandar told her, man. You shouldn't regret what happened, even if the worst case were to happen. Wait, is this not their moment on the bridge? Again, it depends on what you're talking about. In the original anime, I assume it happens. I've never seen the original anime, which is supposed to be this route right here. Again, there are 3 routes in the original story. This is the Fate route. The Fate route got animated in like the 2000s. It was a terrible adaptation, but I assume they have this moment in the anime. Then there's the Unlimited Blade Work route, and then there's the Heaven's Field route that got turned into 3 movies. Yes, this is Shiro inviting her out on the date. So that means you watched the original anime. Good for you. Again, that is apparently not the best adaptation. They apparently cut stuff out of it, and it looks terrible from what I've heard. But yes, this is the visual novel version of that route. True. Iskandar told her. We're at an impasse now. Saber doesn't say anything more, and I don't have any more to say. The sound of the wind stops, or rather, it pauses for a moment. An instant later, it picks up back. Just as I feel the wind on my cheek. It becomes a headwind. Well, oh boy, you lost all the Riz. Oh boy. Her voice is cold. I only hear rejection in it.
思い上がらないでほしい。あなた程度の人間に私の何がわかるというのです。あなたに私に踏み入る権利などない。
And yet he's here doing it.
戦うなですか。私に守られなければならない未熟なマスターが何を。そのような世まい事を吐くのは一人で戦えるようになってからにしてください。
I mean, he's been fighting pretty good. And also, considering he's now able to make a mimicry of your sword. Just saying, you know. False. I think, though, she's trying to get him angry to, like, drop this conversation. Oh, yeah. I mean, I have an entire playlist. Like, this is, by the way, like, we're on, like, 19 of my playthrough of this. So, there's, like, 18 other, like, streams you can do. This is long. The visual novels are long. So, you can go back and check out on the channel the playlist. Because, you know, we're almost done. Hopefully tomorrow, we're going to be able to finish this. But we'll see. There's, like, another day in, like, the timeline that we still have to do. Like, yeah, you can go back and check out the start to beginning. It has more stuff and probably goes into deeper character things than the actual anime did. Again, I don't know. I never actually saw the anime for the Fate route. The other two routes I have seen, and the prequel, and some other stuff.
まあそんなことは永遠にありえないでしょうが。
違う。世まい事って、俺は。
Just trying to get on your skin, man.
ですから世まい事でしょう。自分のことを考えろですって。それは素人と同じではありませんか。あなたは自分の命が感情に入っていない。
That is fair. To be fair, both of them have ridiculous goals that is self-destruction and survivor's guilt, all that stuff. They both are calling each other out at the same time, not realizing they both have issues.
あなたは私が間違っていると言いますが、あなたの方こそ何かを間違えている。自身より他人を優先するなど死者の考えだ。自身の命の重みも知らない大バカ者がよくもそんなことを言えたものです。
I mean, again, you're saying the words that he's trying to say to you. Again, it's just ironic. It's like two walls talking to each other. It's like, good lord. I mean, she's not wrong. She's not wrong.
勘に触りましたか。なら、いっそのこと契約を解除しても構いません。どうせあなたは聖杯を必要としていない。あとは、私一人でマスターを破り、聖杯を手に入れる。
Oh, you would like that, but I'm not gonna let that happen.
そんなに戦うのが嫌ならば、あなたは遠くで隠れていればいいでしょう。
It's not that he doesn't want to fight, Saber. He wants to make sure that you're happy.
セイバー、お前、それ本気で言ってるのか。
My voice trembles. My teeth are rattling. I'm angrier than I've ever realized.
私の目的は聖杯だけ。それ以外のことなど余計だ。シロ、それはあなたも例外ではありません。
Whew, the worst she could say is no. Oh, Lord. Hold on. I might have to take another screenshot of that. The worst she could say is no, right? Wrong. Wrong. Hold on. Let me see. Let me take a screenshot of this. Jesus. Oh, boy. Okay. All right, Saber. All right. You're going to go watch the first one? All right, man. Yeah, sure. Again, I have an entire playlist on the channel, so go check them out. Make sure you leave a like, too. And if you haven't already, subscribe, baby. Do it. Do it. We're going to do more Fate stuff in the future. I struggle to breathe. I try to fight the blackness encroaching on my vision. To try and get my heart beat again. No, 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 no. You took her bait, you fool. You took her bait. Oh, no. I can't keep my emotions under control. I yell out some sort of lame excuse, then turn and run. I run away from her. Oh, fuck. Damn it, Shiro. You made so much progress and you just lost it. And for an instant, I think I see Saber standing there, dumbfounded. Damn it, Shiro. You made the wrong choice. To be fair, he did kind of, in a way, have his heart broken. I get that. I get that. But still, though, I just run. I don't know why I'm mad, only that I'm so. I run in a fit of rage. I grit my teeth. Honestly, I'm getting dizzy just thinking about what she said. I'm so unfocused, I might run into a pole or something. Well, it would be easy if I could do that. If I was only angry at Saber, I should have taken it out on her like an idiot and just been done with it. But something else caused my fit of rage. I'm not mad at Saber. I'm just frustrated that I keep running and I don't allow myself to catch my breath. Because I know I'm spineless, good for nothing. Saber just stands there, gaping at me. I heard her faintly, just as the wind changes direction. I mean, yeah. I immediately regret my words. I nearly trip. What did those words mean? Had they sounded like parting words? But also like she's been about to cry. Now that I think back, that was probably the honest thing she said. She hung her head as she muttered that to me. Her voice was a mixture of expectation, disappointment, and pleading. Then, who was the betrayer? And who was betrayed? I run to my room and slam the sliding door. Teenager. I flop on the floor, arms and legs splashed. I'm tired of standing. I just want to lie down and go right to sleep. Ugh, teenager relationships right here. Man, you gotta breathe. But even when I lie down, my body's on fire. My heart feels like it's about to burst and my lungs are desperate to take oxygen. I run to the back at full speed, not even pausing once, so I can't blame my body for being discomfort. I feel like I'm still haven't run enough. My body is still telling me to slow down. But I manage to calm down. I take a deep breath. I hold it. I release it. After my breathing calms down, there's just one thing left swirling in my head. It's a simple question. What am I really angry about? It's not really something I need to think. I was running because I know I was helpless. I can't help Saber. It's frustrating, and I'm angry with myself. I can't do anything. I said I was going to make her smile. I decided to protect Saber, but I couldn't do anything, and that makes me angry. I don't know, man. I think in this case, it might be the only thing that gives her happiness is just trying to give her goal. As terrible as that sounds, it just might be the only way to do that. That's why I tried to help Saber find happiness on her own, but she told me those efforts were futile. Even called me an idiot. What do I do with all this? I value my life. I don't want to do anything to end it. And my life has nothing to do with Saber. Bringing my circumstances into this wasn't fair. No matter how stupid I am, I know for sure that Saber's wrong. When she's outright rejects me like that, there's not really anything I can do. I roll over to lay flat on my face. Now all I see is the Tanamat, so I might as well close my eyes and empty my mind. I don't care what happens to Saber, Cap. If the Holy Grail is so important, then she should just marry it. Alright, bud. If she's going to be this stubborn after I've told her this so many times, I should have just stayed out of it, or I'll end up getting burned. Actually, I might have not gotten out of that mess with only a burn. I might have actually gotten really hurt. Huh. The hell? I've already gotten hurt. This is the worst thing that can just get burned. I met her. I fought with her multiple times. And to survive, I saw into the depths of her heart. And in a moment of incredible intimacy, I remember her heat. The light deep inside her. I don't know why I'm remembering this right now. There's a faraway, graspy field of memories of a girl left behind. The moment I think back into the beauty, nothing matters anymore. What Saber says doesn't matter. Saber is just unfair. I don't know what exactly is unfair about her. I know something is. Angry as I am, I can't hate her. The more I want to forget her, the harder it is to get her. The harder it gets to untangle it. Can happen. But I can't help it. I can't give up no matter how many times she tells me it's useless. I just have to see it through to the end. I remember her face there on the verge of tears. Does that mean, will she make that face every time I do something like that? If she really is important to me, I should never apologize to her on how you feel. How much more of this? I might just... Let me see. What time is it? All right, I'll go for like another 20 more minutes. I really should have stopped more. Holy crap! There's that much left. I don't even know if we got to halfway. I think I hear a sound. I'm not sure when the sun sets, but my room's gone dark. The ticking of the clock is getting annoying. Huh? She sounds upset. I snap to fully weakness. Okay. 10 o'clock. That's how I feel right now. Like, oh my god, what time is it? Oh. I jump up. Tozuka stands over me, looking annoyed.
シロ、私はセイバーがいないから聞いてるの。
Does go serious, and I instantly realize what this means.
あいつ帰ってきてないのか。
ちょっとシロ、帰ってきてないってどういうことよ。
Tosca runs out of the room after me. There's no time to explain. I ignore Tosca yelling behind me, and I rush outside. Go to the bridge. To the bridge. The town is quiet, just like yesterday. There is absolutely nobody around. I have the patience to think about how odd this is. Saber hasn't come home yet. I actually don't blame her. We had a huge argument. She said she was going to fight alone. Knowing her, she'd do it too. Saber nowhere to be found. If I can't find her, this might mean she's actually fighting Lancer, the final servant, as we speak. Come on, man. Go find her. Have your link or something. I don't know. But I head straight to one more place. The area near the river is cold. The night is chilly. When I passed the park, it was so cold the entire place felt it was covered in frost. My cheeks and ears sting with the cold, and my breath mist white. If that's cold in the park, I can imagine how absolutely freezing it's going to be on the bridge, with the wind blowing up from the river. There, I see her. She didn't leave. She's right where she's been standing when I ran away. Saber leans on the rail and just gazes out over the river. Maybe she's following the sun, which has long set. She's staring off into the distance, her eyes fixed on the red horizon that has long since vanished. And that's when I realize Saber is strong, but she's weak too. Her dignified appearance is just her way of trying to prove she can get by without anyone's help. But at the same time, she's fragile. She might slip through my fingers if I reach out for her. She can't do things alone, but she will probably keep that front up to the very end. Oh, yeah, here we go. So, just like me, she's been staring up at the unreachable stars, and all she does is look at the setting sun as if it's all she knows how to do. I can't leave her alone. If our argument needs a loser, then it's unquestionably me. It led to me swearing never to let her make that face again. I stepped out onto the bridge. Saber doesn't seem to hear my footsteps. I approach without a word, and I lean on the rail next to Saber. She jumps in surprise. Saber finally noticed me. She turns to me.
いつまでも帰ってこないから遠坂が心配してたぞ。
そうですか。それは悪いことをした。
別にいいけどな。けどなんだってこんなところにいたんだお前は。いや、
はい。ここにいたのはまだ行き先が決まっていなかったからです。シローは勝手にしろと言ったでしょう。ですから勝手にしようと思ったのです。けれど何をするべきか、何をしたいのか、どこに行きたいのか思い浮かばず、ずっとどこに行くべきかを考えていました。
She sounds like a lost child. Saber doesn't look at me in the eyes as she speaks. Maybe she feels guilty. Maybe she does after the fight we had. I can't blame her for thinking I must be angry.
申し訳ありません。リンには世話になったと伝えてください。ランサーを倒し、聖杯を手に入れたのなら、シローの元に戻ります。ですから、それまで。
Sure you will. She's saying that she intends to wander around alone without anywhere to go home to. That idiot.
お前が帰るところは俺んちだろ。飯だって布団だって。ちゃんとセイバーの分を用意してんだから。
ですが、 シロはもう私のことなど知らないと。
Ah, it's just something you say when you're angry.
そうだよ。セイバーが何考えてるか、俺にはわからない。
I say that, and then I take her hand.
シロ、
うちに帰るぞ。いくらサーバントだからって、こんなに冷えたら風邪をひく。早く戻って、あったかいものでも食べよ
う。Nice.
ですが私は。
If only you had Jack the Giver.
それと、言っとくけど、俺は謝らないからな。文句があるなら、今のうちに言っとけよ。
I'm crude about it, but I try to avoid her gaze. She stares at me confused. Saber looks like she wants to apologize, but I ignore her. Maybe that works in my favor. She doesn't say anything. She just follows me in silence, holding my hand. We head across the bridge into the park. It's 11 o'clock. There's nobody in the park, but it's packed with plenty of decorations, like fountains and streetlights. I walk briskly. Saber's steps are sluggish. She stood on the bridge for more than 5 hours. She must be freezing and tired. When I tugged on her hand, she occasionally stumbles, like she's about to fall down.
もう少しゆっくり歩こうか。なんか調子が良くなさそうだし。
I turned toward her as I speak.
いえ、体はとても元気です。ただリンの言葉に踊らされるわけではありませんが、こうして手をつないでいると本当に合いびきのようだなと。
Not date. Tryst. Ooh, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. And just like that, my face turns bright red. No, what she's saying is grip it tighter to prove a point.
いいえ、私もこうしている方がいいです。
Never let it
シロ
go.
の手は温かくて安心します。
And there our conversation ends. I resume heading home just to cover my embarrassment. Saber follows in silence. I'm not even sure how much farther it is to head home. A little embarrassed by the warmth of our clasped hands, we both leave the park. A lot happens today. But if we're ending the day with the warmth like this, hell, I'll change religions and thank the priest, indirect as he may be, allowed this moment to happen. Of course, the second I think of that, this motherfucking cock, this goddamn cock blocker. Oh, of course. We gotta have a fight, of course. Oh my god. So all of this is just for a fight. A fight, and then we're gonna have 50. Okay. We're about to end it anyway. We're about to end it because I thought that was a beautiful place to end it. And then Gilgamesh. Where are you going? Bitch, I didn't see your name on this. We running into someone we should never have met. The elation I felt vanish and my mind goes blank. Goosebumps cover my body and I realize I've forgotten how to breathe. Yep. Saber standing behind me probably feels the same. She grips my hand tightly in her own, the same way I feel a sense of impending death. Saber feels the inevitable despair. Yeah, he's dripped out. Yo, he thinks he's gonna flash. Look. Bud, don't try this shit. Oh my god. Oh, God, this outfit sucks. What are you doing? Your other outfit was way better, man. Nah, the other outfit's way better. The black jacket and everything. Nah, this is... The man in gold. All right, we're going to leave it here. We'll leave it off on this goddamn shitty outfit. Maybe for the time... 2004. 2004. Well, no, that's the time of the events here. Well, I guess, would 2004 rock this style? Maybe. All right. We're going to call it there for a night. I think we made pretty good progress. Yeah. We'll pick it up tomorrow. We're going to pick it up tomorrow. This fucking cock-blocking motherfucker. Every time. When I need him to do something, oh, he won't do it. Every other time I don't need him to do something. Hey, I'm still here, by the way. I'm going to ruin your entire story. It's like, oh, great. Gilgamesh. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, my God. Every time this motherfucker's gotta come in and be Gate of Babylon and just ruin all the fun. Ruin everyone's fun. I have to have everything. Me. Well, you know what, man? Fuck you. Be the most powerful hero. Can't win a single Grail War. True. You're right. Most powerful, my ass. Can you win? Yo, this is some diabolical shit right here. The battle finished. Support. I can hear the laughing in my head. Oh, no. Oh, I funny? Ooh, negative points. Negative points for the meme. But yeah, it's like, brother, can you just back off for like 2 minutes? You're fired. Your employment is hereby terminated. You're jobbing? What? Okay, that's funny. You're jobbing? You're promoted to customer. Nice. That's funny. I like this. Yo, these are some good memes. My master always asked me, how should I address you, Gilgamesh or King of Heroes? And I always say the same thing. How dare you speak to me? Of course. Like, buddy, just calm down. You're not that important. Like 90% of people in the world, even with the anime stuff, barely know your story. You're really not that important. Yo, Babylonian society was cool and all. Yeah, like I think it was like a year or two ago. A new chapter of the Epic of Gilgamesh is revealed when the fragment of a tablet 5 was finally recovered. It was written in standardized Babylonian and dates back to the Neo-Babylonian period 628 to 538 BC, according to researchers. Yeah, so I do know there was some actual new research with the story of Gilgamesh. But fuck off. But, yo, you're cool as a caster because you're actually chill. You're letting people, like, thrive. Yo, this fuckboy persona he gives off, you gotta relax, man. You gotta relax. Gilgamesh Archer fact number 1. He first debuted in Fate's Day Night 2004 as a surprise 8th rogue servant who had managed to incarnate at the end of the 4th Holy Grail War and stuck around for the 5th. That's crazy. So 200 years ago was the first. And they've only had 3 more after that. Crazy. Yeah, that's the craziest thing. So why was it during the Napoleonic War? Why the fuck was it in the Napoleonic War? Fate, Holy Grail War, Napoleon War. Why was it in the Napoleonic War that they had this? I mean, I guess the world was distracted, so they were like, hey, let's go to Japan. Fuyuki's lane line, master selection, master, ritual summoning, command spells engraved on the masters, contact with the Greater Grail, right? Greater Grail, it's fucking weird shit. Throne of Heroes, Hole, all right, no, that is touch, gate to Asuka, Lesser Grail, servant killing each other, servant souls being absorbed, servant the state of battle, master and servant contract. Oh, but it's too much. Too much, man. Also, let me see. Napoleon Bonaparte participate as Archer class servant in the Holy Grail War. Is a fate of not that, but like why was it during the Napoleonic War? Like what outside like the people being distracted? The fuck is this? Dormant Grail War? What the hell is this? Dormant Grail War Fate's Day Night on board game? The hell is this? Is a board game based on the Fate's Day Night visual novel is developed by Delightworks Inc. and is designed by Baka Fire as part of the Fate's Day Night 15th anniversary celebration project. The character design is by Ojoki and the box illustration. There's a what? How do you play this? How the fuck? Alright, I'm gonna have to look this up later. The designs look good. Like, I actually like these designs. It kind of reminds me of the Fate Extra designs, but a little bit more unique. Shiro looks okay. Always giving Rin a fucking thick-ass thighs and stuff. Lord. Top heavy. Yep. Menace. Diabolical menace. Chad when he's allowed to do stuff. Fuck out of here. Cool. Sexy. Awesome Giga Chad. Cool dude. Also sexy. Pretty chill. You fucking asshole. Oh, you. Oh, anyway. Okay. On that note, we're going to leave it here for the night. I'll look this up later. They have a fucking board game. Fate's Day Night board game. The art looks really good. Yeah, I like that. I like this art style. I'm kind of like mad this isn't like the normal art style. It looks really good. All right. So we're going to end there for the night. We'll play more tomorrow. I'm hoping to get done at bare minimum day 14 tomorrow with some time to spare to do day 15. We are probably, though, not going to get done day 15 tomorrow. So either we're going to have to, like, go extra long, or more likely than not, it's going to go into next week. So I'm like, damn, I kind of wanted to start fresh, but it is what it is. It is what it is. We'll see where we get tomorrow. But all right. Yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. We'll be back with more Fate tomorrow. We're going to do some no watch-alongs this week. We're going to be doing some JoJo's on Thursday and starting our read-through of some webtoons, starting with the great real estate developer. And then no watch-throughs this week. We'll be doing that next week. Then this week we will also be doing some JJK and also some Ichi the Witch on Sundays as per usual. We might be able to get to another gaming stream Friday. We'll see. I haven't locked anything in yet. Or Saturday. We could do Either one, we might be able to do something. Yeah. Okay, we're going to end it off there. I hope everyone has a good day, a good night, wherever you may be. Stay safe. Hydrate. And please, if you haven't done so, like these streams, comment. I love reading your comments, even the bad ones, and YouTube will eat them up. And if you want to know when we go live, the quickest way is just hit that bell notification. It's right there. It's very punchable. Just hit it. And then finally, once you're hearing these streams and you're liking these contents and you want to see where we go in the future, all you got to do to show any more support than just coming out for these streams is subscribe. Yeah, that's it. A simple subscribe. All right. Till tomorrow, guys. I hope you all have a nice one. Take care. Stay safe. Goddamn. Fucking crazy board game art. And interesting lore. Shiro. Saber. And then goddamn cock blocker. Every time. Every time. All right. Take care, guys.